Unstoppable. Double kill. Quadra kill.
É o Bermuda vencendo.
The FFWS Global Finals are in full swing.
ก็โดยรวมสัปดาห์แรกก็บุรีรัมย์ได้ทำได้ดีครับก็ตามคาดได้ที่1ครับ
It's end of week 1 and all eyes are on Bermuda. With 5 wins and a record score in the first week, there's only one question. Can anyone stop them?
Yo creo que podemos ganarles.
Dari kita sendiri tim RRQ kita memperbanyak jam latihan, bonding bareng tim, sama kita membuild mental lagi.
بالنسبه للمنافسين اللي ضدنا ما عندناش تخوف حتى واحد فيهم كنشوفهم كاملين منافسين ديالنا ناويين نربحهم كاملين وما عندناش تخوف حتى واحد.
Buriram chính là đối thủ mà khiến cho team mình e ngại nhất. Đó là nhắn nhủ tới Buriram là từng một tụi mình chỉ giấu bài thôi, tới chung kết tụi mình sẽ tung bài thực sự của tụi mình. Buriram hãy coi chừng team WC.
As the chase for the spotlight continues, another heated dispute has risen in Rio, the clash of snipers, starring Moshi, X-Boar, and of course MT7, the backbone of Team Fluxo.
Tao là xạ thủ số 1 thế giới.
ผมอะ the best sniper ของจริง
Não, nem sei o que você está falando, eu sou o melhor. Eu consigo matar os squads sozinho.
ไม่ต้องเล่นละเกมอะเล่นบอลอยู่นี่ก็ชนะได้
Vai ficar se achando, eu consigo acabar com um time tailandês sozinho.
Trong khi các bạn đang bận chiến đấu, Watt sẽ giành lấy mọi sự chú ý. Em và team em rất tự tin để có thể đánh bại tất cả đội tuyển và mang cho team mình cái chức vô địch rồi.
Mano, a gente tá jogando bem. Pra final nós vai estar 100% e vai amassar.
ถ้าให้ผมทำนายกับตารางคะแนนก็น่าจะเป็นทีมไทยติดท็อปหมดเลยครับแต่ผมอะอยู่ที่1แน่นอน
The heat in Rio is turning up. Prepare yourself for week 2.
Quadra kill. Triple kill.
Bola dele, bravo, pra cima demais.
Quadra kill.
Export, já tomou na passagem, sai do por aqui, dentro pra cima.
Congratulations.
Bom dia, padrinho.
Cadê? Sai dentro aí?
Olha sem vazar. Parece aí, meu parceiro. Que isso?
Que isso, mano?
Igual em ponto, não vamos.
Calma, junto. ¿Y qué le queda?
Boa, Carlos, cabelão James.
Nona, primero que todo, pues muchas gracias.
Congratulations. Boa, cabelão. Luffy, congratulations.
Triple kill. Unstoppable. Double kill. Quadra kill.
Fala dele, bravo, não foge do roteiro, é o Bermuda vencendo.
The FFWS Global Finals are in full swing.
ก็โดยรวมสัปดาห์แรกก็บุรีรัมย์ได้ทำได้ดีครับก็ตามคาดได้ที่ 1 ครับ
It's end of week 1 and all eyes are on Buriram. With 5 wins and a record score in the first week, there's only one question. Can anyone stop them?
Yo creo que podemos ganarles.
Dari kita sendiri tim RRQ, kita memperbanyak jam latihan, bonding bareng tim, sama kita membuild mental lagi.
بالنسبه للمنافسين اللي ضدنا ما عندناش تخوف حتى واحد فيهم، كنشوفهم كاملين منافسين ديالنا ناويين نربحهم كاملين وما عندناش تخوف حتى واحد.
Buriram chính là đối thủ mà khiến cho team mình e ngại nhất. Đó là nhắn nhủ tới Buriram là từng một tụi mình chỉ giấu bài thôi, tới chung kết tụi mình sẽ tung bài thực sự của tụi mình. Buriram hãy coi chừng team FFWS.
As the chase for the spotlight continues, another heated dispute has risen in Rio, the clash of snipers, starring Moshi, X-Bor, and of course MT7, the backbone of Team Fluxo.
Tao là xạ thủ số 1 thế giới.
ผมอะ the best sniper ของจริง
Não, nem sei o que você está falando, eu sou o melhor. Eu consigo matar os squad sozinho.
ไม่ต้องเล่นละเกมอะเล่นบอลอยู่นี่ก็ชนะได้
Vai ficar se achando, eu consigo acabar com o time tailandês sozinho.
Trong khi các bạn đang bận chiến đấu, Watt sẽ giành lấy mọi sự chú ý. Em và team em rất tự tin để có thể đánh bại tất cả đội tuyển và mang cho team mình cái chức vô địch rồi.
Mano, a gente tá jogando bem. Pra final nós vai estar 100% e vai amassar.
ถ้าให้ผมทำนายกับตารางคะแนนก็น่าจะเป็นทีมไทยติดท็อปหมดเลยครับ แต่ผมอะอยู่ที่ 1 แน่นอน
The heat in Rio is turning up. Prepare yourself for week 2.
Quadra kill. Triple kill.
Bola dele, bravo, pra cima demais.
Quadra kill.
Export, já tomou a passagem, sai do por aqui, dentro pra cima.
Congratulations.
Bom dia, padrinho.
Cadê? Sai dentro aí?
Olha sem vazar. Põe cidade aí, meu parceiro, que isso?
Que isso, mano?
Igual em ponto, não vamos.
Calma, junto. ¿Y qué le
Boa, Carlos, cabelão James.
Nona, primero que todo, pues muchas gracias.
Congratulations. Boa, cabelão. Congratulations.
Triple kill. Unstoppable. Double kill. Quadra kill.
É o Bermuda vencendo.
The FFWS Global Finals are in full swing.
ก็โดยรวมสัปดาห์แรกก็บุรีรัมย์ได้ทำได้ดีครับก็ตามคาดได้ที่1ครับ
It's end of week 1 and all eyes are on Buriram. With 5 wins and a record score in the first week, there's only one question. Can anyone stop them?
Yo creo que podemos ganarles.
Dari kita sendiri tim hierarki, kita memperbanyak jam latihan, bonding bareng tim, sama kita membuild mental lagi.
بالنسبه للمنافسين اللي ضدنا ما عندناش تخوف حتى واحد فيهم، كنشوفهم كاملين منافسين ديالنا ناويين نربحهم كاملين وما عندناش تخوف حتى واحد.
Buriram chính là đối thủ mà khiến cho team mình e ngại nhất. Đó là nhắn nhủ tới Buriram là từng một tụi mình chỉ giấu bài thôi, tới chung kết tụi mình sẽ tung bài thực sự của tụi mình. Buriram hãy coi chừng team FFWS.
As the chase for the spotlight continues, another heated dispute has risen in Rio, the clash of snipers, starring Moshi, X-Bor, and of course MT7, the backbone of Team Fluxo.
Tao là xạ thủ số 1 thế giới.
ผมอะ the best sniper ของจริง
Não, nem sei o que você está falando, eu sou o melhor. Eu consigo matar os squads sozinho.
ไม่ต้องเล่นละเกมอะเล่นบอลอยู่นี่ก็ชนะได้
Vai ficar se achando, eu consigo acabar com um time tailandês sozinho.
Trong khi các bạn đang bận chiến đấu, Watt sẽ giành lấy mọi sự chú ý. Em và team em rất tự tin để có thể đánh bại tất cả đội tuyển và mang cho team mình cái chức vô địch rồi.
Mano, a gente tá jogando bem, pra final nós vai estar 100% e vai amassar.
ถ้าให้ผมทำนายกับตารางคะแนนก็น่าจะเป็นทีมไทยติดท็อปหมดเลยครับ แต่ผมอะอยู่ที่ 1 แน่นอน
The heat in Rio is turning up. Prepare yourself for week 2.
Kaspersky's now in Free Fire. Get Kaspersky Plus and score an exclusive skin. With the most powerful antivirus, plus tools like unlimited VPN, gamer mode, and a password manager, you'll secure that booyah in style. Don't sleep on this. Keep your devices safe and play safe with Kaspersky.
What's up, survivors? The time has come. This is Rio de Janeiro, where anything can happen. And this is your chance to show who's in charge. The whole world is watching. Every move, every decision is your shot at making history. You can't slip up.
Booyah!
Rio is more than just the backdrop. Here, you've got to take risks. There's no room for mistakes. Every second counts. Every move could be your last. You are here to shine. The challenge is to become a legend and take the spotlight.
E aí? Vai encarar?
E aí, pessoal! Sejam todos muito bem-vindos! Eu me chamo Camelota XP e tá começando Free Fire World Series. Último dia decisivo para os nossos times brasileiros e também os times asiáticos e Latam, tá bom? Mas assim, uma coisa eu tenho para te dizer, ontem tivemos dominância brasileira por aqui. Fluxo e Corinthians conseguiram ultrapassar dos 90 e poucos pontos, tivemos MT7 como MVP Kaspersky, enfim, estamos muito ansiosos para ver ambas as equipes na nossa grande final e também num Ponte Rush. Good morning, Yusu!
Good morning, Camilota, and welcome back to Free Fire World Series Global Finals right here in Rio, the heart of Brazil. I'm Yunso. So let's talk a little bit about yesterday that we have MVP for Fluxo Bobs, and Fluxo also have a very good performance as well. But coming back to today, it will be a very important day for most of the teams who are trying their best to take the last ticket to go to the finals, 12 teams only. So today we will have two teams from Vietnam, Hua Esports and WAG. But I believe Hua Esports will need more effort to make their best to the finals. Also, we have Pain Gaming, Yuan Esports, and two dominators from Thailand today, Buram United Esports and Twisted Minds.
Vamos ver quem vai dominar de verdade, mas assim, Yuan e Pen Game seguem jogando por aqui. Vamos ver se nossos dois times brasileiros conseguem a classificação. Eles estão na zona de classificação, mas agora é se manter por ali. Mas temos na parte de baixo da tabela time do Paquistão, do Vietnã, da Indonésia e Latam. Então vai ter muita gente, tá muito concorrida essas 12 vagas. A gente só vai descobrir no final do dia, então fica com a gente até o final, né, Yusu?
As we're talking right now, everybody here is all trying their best, like I said. But I think for me, personally for me only, I think Buram United Esports will dominate the ranking board again for today. But I will stay here, cross my finger and wish the best for my team, Hua Esports, to get the slot. But I really hope that the other team will have the opportunity to go to the final as well.
Yonsu tá torcendo pra Hua. Eu tô torcendo para os nossos times brasileiros. Vamos torcer bastante e bora de recap. Vamos ver o que aconteceu no dia de ontem, juntinhos agora.
Before we start our game, let's head back to see our recap and highlights from yesterday.
Udah masuk ke final, udah yakin banget 100%. Tapi kalau dari perasaan hari ini sih masih kurang lah. Banyak mistake yang kita lakuin buat kedepannya kita bakal ngeperbaikin.
Hoje foi ótimo dia pra gente. Pra final a gente vai estar muito confiante e é isso.
Conseguimos buia hoje, conseguimos ser a melhor equipe do dia hoje. Estamos confiantes e focados pro point rush e pra grande final.
Kini Vos akan merombak pemain sepertinya buat kedepannya.
بغيت نقول لكم سموحات بزاف الناس كاع الناس اللي شجعونا سموحات بزاف ما قدرناش نديروا داك الليفل اللي كنتو متوقعين منه ولكن الماتش الاخر حاولنا نبينوا للعالم بلي حنا واثق كاينين وحاضرين يعني ما خافوا والو ولعبنا احسن من الماتشات الاولى
ก็ฝากถึงทีมอื่นด้วยนะครับเห็นพวกผมเล่นในรอบกรุ๊ปสเตจไม่ดีก็อย่าเพิ่งประมาทพวกผมครับ
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, and this is Free Fire World Series 2024 Global Finals. This is the last day of the knockout stage and the last chance for the teams at 13 to 17 from groups A and B to take their spot on that 12. Going to Point Rush and to Grand Finals, we are hoping that everyone can put their best foot forward for this day. What Onicaster says, we're the voices that will be bringing the action to you. I am Neptune the Gentleman Garcia. Together with me is the one and only Gideon Q.
Great opening there, Mr. General Garcia. It's great to be back on the Free Fire World Series Global Final stage to see everyone play at the top level. And yes, it has been some very exciting games based on what we've been seeing in this past week alone, and even in the previous couple of days. A lot of changes in the MVPs, and finally, we do get to see a team from Latam actually achieve an MVP team by the end of yesterday. Fluxo achieving it on day 5. Day number 6, it's anybody's game, and I'm just happy to see it's Buriram. Can they make another 100-point day?
Well, we'll have to find out. I mean, that is the normal thing for Buriram. It's just another day for Buriram to get 100 points. But my focus would be the teams at the bottom part of the top 12 and those are trying to grab their spot. Because from Group B, EVOS Divine and CLG will not be playing. So there's a good chance that they will be relegated out of the competition. And some of the teams coming from 13 to 17 will be getting into that Point Rush and Grand Finals day. That, like, there was a mention by Yunso as well.
On over to the 22nd and 23rd where we start playing the Point Rush.
Yeah, I mean, definitely there's a lot of changes that needs to be done, a lot of adjustment that needs to happen, especially if they don't want to be caught off guard, especially in the drop spot as well as their rotation. But we were talking about how well, like, organized and how the teams from Latam and Brazil has been adapting to the gameplay of Southeast Asia, wherein aggressiveness is more of the forte for those coming from Southeast Asia, but the passiveness is still working for, say, teams like Pain and E1 Sport. I mean, they are passive halfway through, and then towards the end, that's where they grab elimination. But unfortunately, some of them doesn't end up in the final circle, so they need to put a solution on that. Otherwise, they will be left behind.
Well, I don't know. I've noticed based on the way that we've been seeing the last couple of rings actually play out, if you have, like, it's the rule for me, rule of thumb that I'm going with is that majority rules all. So if there's 2 Southeast Asian teams and 1 Brazilian team, there's a very high likelihood that the Southeast Asian team is going to make that very first move. But we do see, as you mentioned, Fluxo kind of adopting of having, you know, some prerequisites, being able to, you know, move a little bit earlier than the rest of these teams to maybe catch them off guard and punish Southeast Asian players. But then again, it really depends on who you're facing, because in Group A, we got Buriram, Hua, Reda, Twisted Minds, and RRQ, with Group C playing today as well. 6K, 6 Karma, Attack All Around, WAG, Falcons, you know the drill.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for teams coming from Group A, there's really not so much to say about this because we've seen them get back on track, especially for those who have lost them. Hawaii Sports, they had a good first day, and RRQ is having a rough patch right now. Hopefully, they will be able to recover. But for the rest of the teams, I think they are in the best position, apart from what I did mention earlier, Pain Gaming, as well as E1 Sports that might be pushed down. But this is the lineup, the schedule that we have right now, the usual setup for game 1 to 5 and a random game 6 that would twist everything out, and that can bring more of a hype as to how they want to end the game.
Yep, 6 maps, 6 opportunities to scale yourself up to the top 12. Now guys, the blanked out names you see here today are all from Group B. They will not be playing here today. It is between Group A and Group C to finish off their last round. Now, Buriram United sitting very comfortably on top, but as you mentioned, we're looking at anybody who's close to that 12th place spot, whether it be Hua, RRQ, even Reda, all at odds against each other to try and overtake, if not maintain their position.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a huge chance that a lot of teams will be able to overtake EVOS as well as CLG. I mean, Pain Gaming's only need 6 points to be able to overtake them, and since Group B is not playing, there's a huge chance that they can pull that off. E1 Sport only needs 10 points, Hua needs 17, and RRQ needs 21. Let's include Reda as well, it needs 40. And looking at the averages of this of Reda, they can pull that off, but the only question is, will they be able to overtake the other teams above them?
Well, I mean, we gotta definitely look at the people who kind of set these points up in the first place, who get those big points. We gotta give it over to at least a focus on Falcons this time around, because this is a team, EWC, you're expecting them to absolutely crush it, right? Group stages, alright, they should technically be okay, but with their current positioning, 6th place, they're not doing bad overall, but we haven't seen them completely dominate just yet. We haven't seen that EWC form just yet.
Yeah, I mean, we still have to see how much they have adjusted, especially after the qualifiers or the regionals that they played wherein they didn't get the championship. But looking at WAG, this is a team that surprised, that wowed everyone because of the performance that they had. They had 3 Booyahs overall, currently in 10th place with 2.17 elimination. Allen has brought this team to a different high, but they can put a lot more, especially after this game. There's not so much of risk for both of these two teams, but as we look at Payne, Peter, as well as Pau from E1 Sports, a head-to-head, quite balanced between these two. These are the 2 teams, or 2 players from 2 teams that can be pushed down, currently in 11 and 12.
Yep, so again, today, a lot of stakes are on the line. A lot of team lives are also on the line. So if there's times to whip out your desperate strategies, now's a very good chance to do so.
But speaking of the desperate strategies, there's a huge chance that these teams might take it very, very slow and try to get that final circle. Probably get a couple of Booyahs if they can, just to make sure that they can keep themselves afloat. But I think that's a very risky move, because if they don't get as much as elimination compared to what we've seen the other teams does, then they might be pushed down every map, every time they step in a different map all throughout the 6th game. So that would depend on how they can adjust, how can they take the battle, especially on from the drop, as well as their rotation, and hopefully from afar, if they don't want to risk being aggressive from afar, they can get all those elimination and slowly climb up the leaderboard.
Well, do you think that's the most effective strategy? Based on the past couple of days, it looks like the adjustments that we've seen from, well, less from the Southeast Asian teams, it feels like they're trying to keep to their identity as much as they can, but I love the adjustments coming in from Latam teams. Like, Flexo is adopting a couple of interesting, aggressive strategy styles when approaching certain conditions, but as you mentioned, Pain, E1 Sports as well. Both of these teams, Pain in particular, rather interesting early drops. They absolutely love to fight. Does that hurt them later into the game? It does hurt their rotations, but I think there needs to be a good balance between the two. There's no way that we could say that one strategy wins all now.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to find out if they can, like, replicate any strategies that has been pulled out, especially the top 3 elimination that we have. It's just Buriram United that we can focus right now, but MT7 is brought in point blank on that AC80. He can pull it off, but even from afar. So this is just one well-rounded guy who wears that sniper, pretty much from what we've seen Moshi has done before. But as we look at the MVP leaders, it's still Wasana taking the lead, but followed by Limit X7 from Attack All Around, then followed by 2 players as well from Buriram United and Diamond from Twisted Mind.
Yep, it's not just about the eliminations or how many points you're actually able to get. It's about the impact that you make that creates the most valuable player.
Yeah, we're going to throw it to the host right now to carry it over to our first map. It is Bermuda. So, Camilota and Yunsul, please take it away.
certo por aqui. Peu e Raja, bora decolar. Vamos pra Bermuda, o mapa mais clássico do Free Fire, Yansu.
Yes, and we are going to start our first game with a very basic map, Bermuda. So, have you guessed which team will get the booyah first? Which team from you?
Fluxo. Não, brincadeira. Pain Game ou Iwan.
Okay, I love your idea. So, we are getting ready to take off right now. Me with Camilota.
Bora decolar porque os jogadores já estão posicionados, então aguenta coração. Pega sua pipoca, porque a decolagem foi Yansu. Autorizada!
At the grand finals, it is going to be Bermuda to kick things off here today. Everybody knows this map. Everybody loves this map. The default upon all defaults. We're only expecting the best here at FFWS.
And definitely the best. We have topping the teams out here from Group A and C as Team Buriram United as well as Falcons, very close to each other when it comes to Bermuda. But as we look into drop spot of the teams, not so much of hot drop might be happening right here. Everyone to play safe apart from Six Karma as well as Hawaii Sports. So let's see if Six Karma and one player from Team Falcons as well says three-way battle in one part of the northern area of this map.
Yep, the northwestern side is already a hotspot between these three teams, and I think it can only mean one thing for Twisted Minds. It's either they go to the east side and try and take out Retta, or they're gonna go and join that western front. For now, we look on over to Six Karma, who's chilling by the shipyards, pretty close to the fight, but not within earshot just yet. If they keep on moving and following that circle, they might just get involved with that battle happening up topside, or maybe pick off a couple of those stragglers.
Yeah, we'll have to find out though. Bad has been taken out by Hawaii Sports. They grabbed that first point and instantaneously has been brought back. But it's not so, like, doesn't make so much of a difference because they're still in losing phase and a lot of changes might happen. But Nico might be in trouble. Two players rushing in and from a far shot from Team Falcons. Peter right now, Bison in hand, will try to go in. And there goes a triangle push being done by Team Falcons. One elimination and Six Karma receiving all those damage.
And a perfect time to take out Nico as well, but it looks like On Fire has just met the gazes of Hua. Death already has knocked him down, and I think that at this point, looks like they want to take a full engagement here. They know exactly where Hua is, so they want to encapsulate them from every angle possible because they are playing on the outside of the structures.
Yeah, we have Poppy has been left out and the rest of Hua is now pushing in. Yanbin from behind, connected by the Cassie. Death has met his death. And let's see if Poppy will be able to pull that off. Peter goes in for that takedown and Keroro up close and personal. Mag 7 in hand and was able to take down a few more. Only one remains. Shin will be left out and will try to pick up as many coins as possible to bring his teammates back unless he will be taken down by the Team Falcons.
And Falcons, they've got a bully playstyle, right? Once they know that they've gotten one of your fingers, they want the whole arm. They want your entire shoulder. They want the top half of your torso. They're going to keep on poking at you until you give them everything.
And there you go, Shin receiving some damage to sniper battle. It's not up that close though, but Shin will receive a lot more coming from one more. Here comes the rest of the team, and there's no way out. Team Falcons grab their 5th elimination, making them the top of the leaderboard for Bermuda. The only question is, how will Hua Esport respond to this? Because as what was mentioned earlier, they really need the points to be able to bring themselves in the top 12.
They desperately need to as well. And at this point, if they get eliminated this early on, there's a very good chance they're going to get taken over. But for now, let's look at Twisted Minds and as well as 6K. They have to battle each other, and honestly, the landscape is kind of interesting because they're parallel to each other on this incline. So some people are going to be exposed while others will have to play around it, especially the frontliners. It's either Xboxy or Unknown, and it looks like Unknown ends up going down. Xboxy does it again, holds his position well, and now encroaches on the position of Nico, compromised as the high ground has been cut off.
The split of Twisted Mind really catching off guard 6 Karma despite of being brought down. Diamond will be picked up and Nameless will finish this game. Again, the combination of Diamond and Nameless with that electrotherapy makes them a tough cookie to beat at this point. Now, Twisted Mind on their 4th elimination, and again has been brought in by 6 Karma, one of the teams that started this off an early engagement together with Hua and Team Falcons.
Just look at him. Look at him go. Look at Seeming. Oh, dude, how smooth is his finger movement? It's just the cleanest. Just the cleanest. Loves his hand. I love watching his hand cam. But now let's look over at WAG because after launching themselves, they didn't realize that they're stuck between a rock and a hard place with Pain on the other side, and they are just peppering them on this high ground, high to low, and it's not going to go well unless they are able to kind of flush them out from the blue. So once Motovia is out of that blue, they're going to be able to regroup with the rest of the team with WAG now on that blue side, and will have to fight for this high ground.
And we'll have to find out. I mean, Motovia was able to pull away just in time for backup to arrive, and WAG pulls back as well, but they have to cross that border of the blue, and there's no way but to go against Pain Gaming. Noda is going in for the rush together with Peter XL, and WAG will be stuck in this ridge, nowhere else to go, so they have to fight. But what else do they have? Not so much of healing being done by Cyrus right now, so I think he's out of meds and he needs some help. So this position can pull, they can pull a surprise against Pain Gaming unless the pinch works for Pain.
Let's see whether this pinch is going to work or not. Goose is about to come over to the high ground on the right-hand side. With Xborg and Cyrus having to hold that line, Krillin is going to force him out of position, realizing that he's isolated and by himself. Takes the lower ground just to double confirm as they take a 2v1 as Xborg is going to fall behind them. Finally, the electrotherapy man is in the building, and he's cleaning up shop fast as WAG get picked off one by one, leaving Alan all by himself.
Alan will have to go in for the push against Motivated. Motivated goes down, and there it goes, the takedown against Alan by Goose. They played Duck Duck Goose, and WAG is out of the game following 6 Karma. So there's only 10 teams remaining, and 6 Karma will be, 10 teams remaining, and 6 Karma might be the next one unless they recover. Only 1 remains for this team, and Pain Gaming has brought in the pain against WAG. The good chance they can overtake CLG now because they only need 5 points to do so.
Yep, just keeping you on your toes, Neptune. You know, 2 sets of 6K members, you know, Twisted Minds, a Brazilian as well as Thai team apparently. You know, all these things should keep you nice and sharp. But RRQ at this point of time, looking on over at a singular building of Attack All Around. Now, Attack All Around, not living up to their namesake, is going to have a pretty tough time against RRQ. If they take that next building, they've already spotted each other, but fighting now is pretty dangerous. They're going to use the binoculars to try and scout out the area because they don't know if they're going to get thirded, and especially during global finals, you can expect that nobody's going to waste an opportunity.
Yeah, they're not wasting any opportunity right now, but the way I'm looking at it for RRQ, they're playing it safe. They have spotted Attack All Around. They pull out the binoculars from both sides on left and right, and they took the right route in the middle of the next phase of the circle. RRQ doesn't want any engagement just yet. They want to deal with placement point and then elimination later on if they get the high ground, and now they are taking that high ground to make sure that they have a few more to add into the mix. 12 points is needed for them to take the top 12 spot against E1 Sport, but we're seeing E1 Sport to be in the same spot. So if they take down E1 Sport, then there's a good chance that they can push them down to that 13th.
Now looking at the blue currently and the teams playing on the outside, Pain still hasn't made their way from outside of the blue. 6K, however, they should have been able to recover after the initial damage, scrap it up as much as they can, but they're going to be the first line of defense against Pain as they start making it into the blue. For now, E1 as well as RRQ will have to face against each other here by Mill side. I don't think RRQ is going to show presence just yet, but in the meantime, very smart, having Dutz in the back just in case to monitor a 360 array in the perimeter.
Yeah, Del XS has been taken down by Pain Gaming, and this is one thing that is not wanted by a team like Six Karma. I mean, they just recovered out of those elimination that has been done against them, and they're having rough time right now to be able to fight back. But going back to what you mentioned about RRQ, I mean, good position for them. They still have their eyes on attack all around just to make sure that they have it covered before going in for the rush. But it's Y Sports goes in for the push. Though, despite of being taken down earlier, they're so much aggressive this time around to go in against attack all around. Jump God will be pinned, but Shin didn't go and shoot against him, and Poppy goes down.
Well, it's not over just yet, right? Yanbin can get a sneaky revive as Shin is trying to break up the forces, but this death ball coming in from attack all around doesn't seem to be breaking that easily. They need a lucky pick here. They need a clean headshot. It's a 2v2 so far with one extra member of attack all around in the second building. Limit getting chased down, and Pungad here to support Yanbin. If he can win this 1v1, they might have an opportunity. While this is happening, Jonah looks to find a pick onto Six Karma as this battle is happening by Riverside.
It's a 3v2 situation right now, and Hua has no time to bring back their teammates unless they don't have a pocket market to play with, and that really is tough for them. But Death is still alive though, as I say, being graced and being like laying low from afar so that they will not be taken out just in case the two players goes down. But this is a lot of time that they're spending, and they might track unwanted attention at this point. There you have it. Ma'al did see Death, and the lifeline of Y Sports is down and out.
Oh, just as you call it, it looks like even the Falcons want to get involved in just a little bit. SWAT force their way into the compound and using this electrotherapy to sustain for a very long period of time. Finally, Poppy ends up going down, and the Riptide rhythms have been unleashed by Falcons, and as they're their next Wolves. Oh my god! Knocking on that door! One nade, one shot with some support, and they wipe out attack all around in one fell swoop. Holy cow!
That is the unwanted attention that they want to get, especially from Team Falcons. I mean, especially if you're taking so much time to take down an opponent, they could have pulled out, whether it's Y Sports or attack all around, because surprise just like this might happen. But for Bermuda United, this is a team that pulls out so many surprise halfway through the circle or halfway through the game. They have been silent, only one elimination on their side, and they're still hanging back. They don't want to be sighted just yet, and the launch pod might bring them to the next phase of the circle unless they don't have a position. One is already in there, who is Jonah, and they grab a good point that is not occupied by anyone from the rest of the teams.
Good decision coming in from BRU's side. They've noticed that Reda actually taking their, well, quote-unquote highway, more like a wall on this side of the map. And if you just stick to the wall, we've seen many teams really get funneled in towards the next couple of rings, assuming you're making a hard read that is going to pull to the top right side of the map, then you have an advantage. But I think that BRU is taking a very smart approach, saying, we don't know. It's a 50-50 on that one. So it's better if we don't. It's better we just take the low ground for now. There's still plenty of play area as 6K members get beamed down from the sky. We cut back over to Falcons, who's been playing from the outside of the blue and always likes to play on the outer edges of the ring.
Yeah, I mean, they really need to move in because there's 30 seconds before the next phase closes in. But Bermuda United feeling a lot of red right there from afar. Jonah not yet being picked up, or has just been taken down after being picked up. And this is something that we don't see often from Bermuda United. Reda, though, playing it well, especially spotting those 6K members coming from the revive, has added a few more in their points. But Noda is so sneaky at this point. His position, the only question is, will he fall down to his death? Because I think that's still high, and with the blue closing in, that is a very risky move.
It is a pretty risky move, and even Reda understand that their current position isn't the greatest, so they're going to go and fight for this structure, and it looks like seeming he probably hears all of the footsteps. He's calming to the rest of his team to take positions and hide. They're looking to even this score as soon as possible. Where is their fourth member?
I'll have to find out where is that fourth member, but Six Karma finally has fallen down, and judging from how they tried to recover themselves, they are the team that has the most spending in this game. I mean, bringing them back multiple times. But 17 remaining in the fourth, going to the fifth phase of the circle will be pandemonium. A lot of teams are already up close and personal, but still buying their time. E1 will be taken down despite of the effort of trying to bring down Twisted Mind. Pau will be knocked down and not yet eliminated though, but E1 has a good chance to fight back. Burim United managed to bring themselves back, and their target is RRQ, who pulls away on that ridge.
Looks like they had to use a lot of resources here, and now Reda is caught between a rock and a hard place themselves. Glue wall melters as well as Ice Days being thrown in. Riptide Rhythm comes on through, and Buriram easily holding their position for now, but E1 must be able to fight hard. RRQ as well as the Falcons are going to go into this full-on engagement. This low ground has been contested for so long, and at this point, whoever controls this lower ground probably is able to walk into the final ring for free, and Falcons just won't let RRQ have this position.
Yeah, I mean, they're not letting them push through as well, and the blue is closing in. E1 Sport has been eliminated. We are only dealing with 5 teams at this moment, RRQ and Team Falcons. Not like Team Falcons who buy so much of time, take down at least one player from RRQ, but this is good though for the team coming from Indonesia. There's a good chance that they can recover from the position they have on the leaderboard in high ground as well. 4 team remains. Burim United has lost one of their players, and they're still hanging back in there with Twisted Mind as a battle on this side is between Team Falcons and RRQ.
And so far, it looks like this decider. Oh wait, actually, 2 knockdowns here. Looks like Twisted Minds has taken a lot of damage at this point from Buriram's side, it feels like. But now Riptide Rhythm's coming through against RRQ. Do they have enough resources to hold down? Drops down the Chronodome, tries to hold out as On Fire tries to rush him down, ends up dying, still unable to make it work with RRQ on that top ridge. They need to finish off these kills as quickly as possible, taking out a majority of the Falcons alongside with them before they go down. And while this was happening, Buriram United has convincingly pushed off Twisted Minds, pushed down RRQ, and kept Falcons in check with a 1-man advantage. Good shot on towards Wasana's side. One more is going to have to try to win this out, and this 3v2 is Get High. Wide out in the open, doesn't mind with the help of the Cassie, thanks to the Cassie's electrotherapy, making it quick work of one more as well to get the first booyah of today.
The first booyah of the day and the 9th booyah for Buriram United, increasing the lead that they have against Team Fluxo, who cannot do anything for this day. Again, this is just race of top 12, but Buriram United really wants to grab that number 1 spot away, far away from the rest of the teams. And there you have it, the Kings of Booyah back at it again.
They're just crushing it. They're crushing it real well. It just goes to show, as much as you can strategize, as much as you can theory craft about your items, your builds, at the end of the day, it's about firepower that gets you to the very end.
Yeah, firepower indeed, and we are excited to see how it ended and who will be the MVP for this match coming from Buriram United. Well, we've seen how well they played it out. Despite of them losing one of the players out of the 3, making that 4 that was left on the final circle, they still managed to take down Twisted Mind, slowly go in on the distracted Team Falcons, and manage to bring it back. So we'll have to go in and check out how they did that play from the interview as we bring it to our host.
Buiazão da Buriram aqui, seria estranho, né, se a gente não visse um buia da Buriram, mas eles já começaram em grande estilo aí, trazendo esse buia contra Team Falcons, que também é um time tailandês. Vamos trocar uma ideia agora com Get High. Okay, so since you guys are leading the over the standings, I would like to know what you have prepared for today, because you are in a very safe place. And are you guys just practicing for the next stage, or maybe are hiding some tactics?
ก็คือเหมือนตอนนี้ทีมบุรีรัมย์นำสกอร์บอร์ดอยู่ท็อป 1อยู่แล้วก็ค่อนข้างอยู่ในจุดที่เซฟแล้วแบบว่าจะเล่นยังไงก็ได้แล้วถามว่าตอนนี้เรายังมีการเตรียมพร้อมสำหรับรอบไฟนอลยังไงหรือว่ายังมีเทคนิคอะไรหรือแบบวันนี้จะเล่นยังไง
ก็เล่นตามแผนที่วางครับไม่ได้แบบเล่นชิลแบบเหมือนว่าแบบคะแนนเข้ารอบแล้วเล่นซ้อมแผนเราเพื่อรอบไฟนอลครับ
we use some tactic that we're gonna use in finals for today because we don't want to play shield anymore. We just like try to be not too careless.
So they are showing their game today.
Yes.
Ok. Tá, minha primeira pergunta foi em relação ao jogo que eles estão trazendo pra hoje, porque eles estão em primeiro lugar na tabela, estão num lugar super tranquilo, confortável pra eles, não tem com que se incomodar. E aí eu quero exatamente saber qual que é o jogo que eles vão trazer hoje. E na verdade ele foi bem sincero, o Get High foi bem sincero, e ele falou assim que hoje eles entraram pra jogo, vão mostrar o jogo deles, eles não estão nem aí, não vão se preocupar, até porque, né, os caras estão dominando tudo por aqui. Please, Yusuf.
Yes, I think today is Sunday, so Sunday the King plays Buriram United Eastward. So I want to ask that what is the difference between playing in the studio and on the stage? Because I remember that in our last game back in 2023 in Bangkok, right? You cannot achieve the championship, but now are you here? So do you feel the difference? And do you want to also get the champion back to your country?
เขาถามว่าการเล่นในสตูดิโออย่างเงี้ยกับการเล่นบนเวทีที่มีผู้ชมค่อนข้างต่างกันไหมเพราะว่าเหมือนอย่างรอบน็อกเอาท์สเตจตอนปีที่แล้วเหมือนเราก็เล่นได้ดีในรอบน็อกเอาท์แต่ว่าพอถึงช่วงที่รอบไฟนอลเนี้ยเราก็ไม่ได้ถ้วยของปีที่แล้วคิดว่ามันต่างกันยังไงแล้วแบบคิดว่ารอบเนี้ยอยากเอาถ้วยกลับไทยไหม
ก็ก่อนอย่างแรกเลยก็คือเวลาแบบเวทีรอบชิงเนี่ยมันมีคนมาแบบมันกดดันตัวเองครับใช่ทำให้เล่นไม่ได้แต่รอบนี้ก็จะมาเอาแชมป์กลับไทยครับ
He said yes, it's quite different because in the studio they have only players and for the staff, but for the on the stage there will be some audience that can put the pressure for them. So, but this time it will change. They will try to bring the trophy back.
Okay.
Família, prestem muita atenção nisso agora, que é importante pra gente. Brazuquinhas, tá bom? A pergunta do Yusuf foi direcionada qual que é a maior diferença deles jogarem num estúdio normal, sem ninguém, e no palco, né, onde vão ter muitas pessoas assistindo, a audiência, os fãs. E ele falou que tem uma grande diferença, porque no estúdio eles podem jogar um pouquinho mais calmos e tranquilos, e eles sabem que quando tem torcida, a pressão aumenta, a pressão é maior, mas eles vão fazer de tudo para levar o troféu de volta para casa. E a gente tem uma missão, botar pressão neles aqui, beleza? Vamos de melhores momentos agora, porque a Buriram já conseguiu seu primeiro buia por aqui.
Yes, and this is the end of our interview. Thank you so much for watching, and again, congratulations to Buriram United Esports for such a good performance to us. Now let's head back to our caster and watch the highlights.
Thank you to our hosts. Of course, great interview once again. A good point being brought up here. Home and away advantage, especially when you don't have the home crowd shouting behind your back. I feel like, you know, it feels easier to be the away team. You come in with no expectations, but being the home team, everybody wants you to win and you have to live up to it.
Yeah, I mean, like contrary to common beliefs, that is true. I mean, most of the teams want to be playing in home soil, but with that alone, with that, what you mentioned, I mean, there's a lot more pressure if you're playing in home ground. But I mean, Buriram United has gone into different competitions, whether it's outside of Thailand or within their own region. They know how to play it. They know how to like drown out everything in terms of crowd and just focus on their game and their opponent to grab all those booyahs. But we'll have to see if that continues on. I'm not looking forward to what Buriram United has to do, but looking at how Pain as well as E1 has played, I think there's a good chance that CLG is slowly falling behind and Evo's Divine might follow. So RRQ did survive a little bit longer, but will they take that top 12 spot? We'll have to find out.
It's really hard to say. It's really, really hard. I think both Hua and RRQ are in that same boat of, guys, we're not playing the way that we used to, you know? We used to crush it. What's going on with us right now? And then you cut back to BRU and it's just like, I've never had a bad day in my life. I wake up with perfect hair. I never have to worry about any of these things. Like, just look at Moshi, right? 4 eliminations, having a good amount of damage, plenty of assists, MVP through and through, and the lineup that they're going for, going to be the Skylark with 2 Tatsuyas and of course the Cassie bringing out. And one last thing I have to point out, Get High, I can only assume he's a great lover. That man never breaks eye contact with the way that he looks into the camera. Man, he steals my heart.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, it's just good that we're seeing a lot of, I would say, stage presence coming from some teams, because most of the time, if they go in onto an interview, they're very shy. They don't talk that much. But Get High is different this time. I guess a lot because of the number of instances that he has been on the stage. He has gotten used to it. But as we go into the key players of that game, 5 elimination goes to Peter from Team Falcons. Moshi did a lot in terms of damage and Get High with assists. Support overall, we did see how he like the loadout that he had in terms of those characters, with that Cassie, with that Olivia, with the healing. That's more of a healing characters, and as well as Tiva with the quick pickup that can be done. So he is the one that you want to be right behind you on your side, especially if Wasana is your teammate. He just goes out and fire against everyone. So let's check out today's standing. 26 points from Team Falcon, 24 or from Bermuda United rather, 24 from Team Falcon, Twisted Mind. So top 3, it's just Thailand overall. But unfortunately for Hua as well as RQ, yes, RQ did so much, but they needed a lot more because Pain Gaming put up so much of a fight that it's still a cat and mouse between these two.
Yeah, no, I think that I'm pretty surprised that Ping got so high up there, considering that they were playing for position, but it just goes to show that even in the early game, accumulating some early points definitely is going to help you out, especially with very decisive teams, right? This entire Bermuda map, it was very clear what each team wanted to do. You could see what Buriram was trying to fight for, and then you saw the bunch of teams who had the exact same idea. RRQ, Falcons also getting involved. They wanted to just avoid the center. They saw what happened to Retta, and they're like, we're not going to be the next one.
Yeah, it's a good thing though. I mean, RRQ is chasing for that center of the phase of the circle, similar to E1 Sport. But E1 Sport, most of the time, they fall behind in terms of a team versus team, and RRQ has just done it better. But for Pain Gaming, I mean, that is true. There's a lot of like adjustment that has been done for them. Even for Retta, they like played with Bermuda United before going in out against Twisted Mind onto that warehouse from the bridge. So like Retta did fight it off, but unfortunately for them, they have been taken down, and a lot of teams out here are making some changes. It might not be a good change, but there's definitely some changes overall in this game. So in a bit, we're going to hear from our sponsors, and hopefully you tune in on to the next game.
Kaspersky's now in Free Fire. Get Kaspersky Plus and score an exclusive skin. With the most powerful antivirus, plus tools like unlimited VPN, gamer mode, and a password manager, you'll secure that booyah in style. Don't sleep on this. Keep your devices safe and play safe with Kaspersky.
Bora decolar Peu e Raja, vamos para Purgatório, nem céu, nem inferno, é Purgatório, isso.
Purgatory will be our second map, and like I said, Sunday the King play started the Buriram United Esports with the biggest booyah we have ever seen. But in this game, I think everything will change and they cannot take this booyah anymore. And I wish that to be another Vietnamese team. So let's get started and take this off.
Jamais vai ter buia brasileiro. Bora decolar porque os jogadores já estão posicionados. Então aguenta coração porque a decolagem foi autorizada.
Either heaven or hell can save them in this battle as we head over to Purgatory. The teams that has topped this chart is Bermuda United and RRQ coming from Group A and C. Both of them have 2 Booyahs. The only question is, will RRQ bring this back to their side? Because as we keep mentioning, they they desperately need this Booyah as well as a lot of points. But as we look into flight path, it's skewed over into the north. That might be tough for everyone else.
Yep, looks like the southern side is not going to be as accessible unless you truly go out of your way, and I'm expecting one team to be going out of their way, and that's going to be the Falcons here, heading quickly down towards the southern side, but it looks like they may have jumped a little too soon. We'll see whether or not they're going to get involved early like RRQ right now as they deal with attack all around, already finding multiple bodies on the floor. 1 elimination, a couple of knocks for themselves as well, bringing that up to a quick 2 eliminations with their squad at full fighting force.
Razor just runs away. Yes, they want to be aggressive. They want to take over their reign on Purgatory, but they have 2 teams to deal with. And there goes a vehicle about to explode as WAG wreaks havoc in this fight. But there is a good chance that they can bring back Duts unless Hua continues on and chase them out. Damage being dealt with, but it's a good thing the Kazi is helping them recover, and with coins that they have gathered might be able to bring it back. A Bay right now will be at bay as one more shoots him down. No weapons on him at that point. That makes it difficult for them to fight back.
Really unfortunate. Unfortunate they're caught between a rock and a hard place, right? You want to leave the area, but then Hua says no. If you stay in the area, you still get peppered down by the Falcons. So they made the smart decision of leaving a straggler behind to slow down the aggressors being in Falcons and hoping that they can get past Hua as the gatekeepers. But at this point of time, looks like even for Hua, turning their direction straight to Falcon's side as they're going to contest for the Arsenal. It's not even open yet, but it's worth contesting.
We'll have to find out. Poppy has jumped off already and on fire. Will be brought down. Double vector in hand from the hands of Yan Bin. And backup is there as well. Kiroro will be stuck in one corner. And no, Y Sports will try to get away. Vehicles already on fire. And one more will bring more fire onto that battlefield. Kiroro, though, is stuck into the corner. And there's nowhere to go as we say goodbye to 6 Karma being eliminated first in this second map.
Yeah, the one thing that's really great about Falcons is they know how to split your attention. Not split your composition apart, but more so where you should be pre-firing, where you should be looking towards. Every single time you look away, it feels like they just sneak a shot in, and Shin, unfortunately, feels that wrath. One more is able to find a little bit. And even Twisted Mind taking on WAG at this point of time. Looks like Kwa, everything they've done so far, down the drain, has to play it safe, has to try and get out of here or buy as much time as possible.
Yeah, Yanbin has no fight in this battle. I mean, sniper against a mini Uzi, there's not a fight that you want to take. But one more is just giving him so much more in this engagement. But nature is still in the side of Yanbin. And I guess there's plenty of time that Yanbin has bought in already. But Death might not have made so much of a move to recover their teammates. And here comes a rush. Yan Bin goes in for Rebel Rush up close against Kiroro, but it's Peter with AUG who takes him down, and Team Falcons grab their 4th elimination.
Beautifully played there. Send Kiroro around him. He's not even healing back up, right? He doesn't. He has the meds. If he wanted to, he could have. But at that point, why should I? Don't put yourself at risk. Don't take that first shot. Walk up, drop that glue wall, and let your supports do the rest because they've got better angles rather than putting your body at risk. Now we cut back to Hua. Death. Only member surviving so far, has a couple of credits, is able to buy 2 back, not enough for their 3rd, but they should be able to recover here by Lumber. Now, let's have a quick look at the map, right? Because this is on the southern side of the map.
Yeah, we'll have to find out who gets away from the southern island, who's moving in onto the other side as well, will be Twisted Mind, who fought against WAG, and this time in WAG has been split up because of the takedown that Twisted Mind has done against them. But it's still so much of field to play with, and RRQ has no one to contest their position in Mount Villa as they head into, well, I would say central or golf course, but Abe is already in there, especially with what happened against him and one of the players of Team Falcons. I think they might want to stay away from that path.
I am curious though whether anybody decided to kind of raid Marble Works, or did RRQ, only touch the southern side of that western island. In the meantime though, E1 and now the arsenals are open as well. They will be able to load themselves up with some high-leveled weapons, if not some powerful gear, and even marking X-Board for death from WAG, which begs the question, where are they in comparison to E1?
Yeah, I mean, WAG is far from being taken down in top 12, but E1 though, they only need 1 or make that 2 more points to go ahead Evo's Divine in the leaderboard. So E1 is just buying their time. They want to get that placement to make sure that they have a few elimination as well, so that they can concrete their position in the top 12, unless they will be taken out by any of the teams. But it's really tough for Evo's Divine as well as CLG, who cannot do anything about this, because it's by the end of the day, there's a huge chance, or probably a bigger chance, that they will be knocked out of top 12 and the other teams will be moving up. They will lose their chance to get into Karaoke Arena.
Well, but gotta have a little bit of faith if you are their fans. RQ on that southern side, moving from central. Looks like moving from one island to another island is not that bad, but it looks like they might want to consider mirroring Falcons. They knew that they were on this side of the map. They just don't know where they are. Oh, no, actually, I take that back. They actually know that Hua is around the area, playing on the outside in the blue zone as it slowly comes in.
The thing is, Yanbin has lost his life on against Team Falcons, and now Hawaii Sports is troubled to be taken down. Well, I would say for death. He is alone. Razor goes down though, but Abe will try to go in for the rush, and the rest of Hawaii Sports needs to rush in, but Razor has been taken down. FGL gameplay by Hawaii Sports, and RRQ brings back their teammates. Zero elimination, needs to get away. Hua is now on fire and might be able to catch up.
We'll see whether or not they did leave a straggler. Abe is going to have to deal with Shin all by himself. Ideally, if he knocks him down and gets the free elimination, that'd be great. But now the Cassie's electrotherapy has already been locked on top of him, and then Abe goes down pretty fast in this 2v1. RQ are still not out yet, but at least for Hua, they fully recover from this damage.
I mean, Hua Esports needs 10 points to be able to cross over to the top 12, and they are, I would say, 4 points behind RRQ. So if Hua Esports has a target that they need to take down, it is RRQ, and they had the 4 that they need to overtake RRQ, unless RRQ grabs a few more. But speaking of grabbing, here comes E1 grabbing their position onto Brasilia, and they will be right next door against Attack All Around, as well as Reda close behind.
Even on the southern side, we do see that RRQ is making their way up towards the north here. We'll see whether or not these teams are going to engage. I don't think E1 as well as Attack All Around are inclined to fight against each other at this point. Looks like both teams are scoping out the area. Attack All Around was here first, so I would only assume that Reda understands the whole scenario, while E1's trying to figure out what's going on here by Brasilia, and why isn't Attack All Around doing much in that building.
Yeah, I mean, probably just waiting where the next phase of Circle will be going, as the second will be closing in, the third will be counting down a bit, but UAVs has been pulled out and they don't want to be spotted. Reda is now having their RRQ as their target, but that might bring the attention of the rest of the teams on them. But the good thing that the angle that they're taking is against E1 as well as Attack Around, so they can just fire freely against RRQ.
That's perfect. This just might allow attack all around. E1 to take pot shots at each other while the attention of Reda is towards RRQ's side. But with those shots being thrown at RRQ, it may have attracted attention from the high ground. Up at the north, Twisted Minds, never mind, launching themselves down to Reda's position.
Well, good old Twisted Mind. I mean, they're not slowing down despite of all the troubles that they had earlier. They want to be that aggressive, and they rush it in against Reda is one signature move that they've done now. Let's see if they'll be able to pull it off. There goes a rush and a takedown against one of the players of Reda. It's Lopez, if I'm not mistaken, who's already on the ground. Diamond and Nameless, the dynamic duo who has made a lot of aggressive move, joined with Expose. I think they have blocked off all the exits, and all they have to do is break down the door and knock and ask them to open up.
Oh, I don't think they like this. They don't want to deal with this. Diamond's already through. He's waiting to push on through with the rest of his teammates, and it looks like he's already found one, but no, Vidalo is already taking him down. Diamond with him gone, and Exposy as well. Nameless the next to fall. It's not looking good for the Twisted Minds. They might not be able to make it through, but Saming is able to clutch it just in time. Close quarters, getting peppered on. It's not over just yet. With 6 eliminations, RRQ is the next to knock on that same door.
Yeah, let's see how fast they can recover as well as bring back Diamond if they can. But Saming, the savior of Twisted Mind, Ma'al has gone down because of Pao coming from E1, and this distraction that Twisted Mind need to be able to get away and live another fight. Now RRQ, 0 elimination, and has brought them all of their teammates already in recovery, and all they have to do is buy time. They don't want to be in the crosshairs of anyone. They want to be steady and waiting, but to Twisted Mind, there's no waiting for them. They just want to rush in, and they are no fools. They know what they're doing.
They do. That's the dangerous part, right? Sometimes you don't understand why they're being so aggressive. Other times, maybe it's just a fake out. But all of these teams are held hostage against each other here by Brasilia. And this is only the 3rd zone. The 4th is about to get revealed. And if it pulls out into the open area, oh my goodness, this is going to get very bloody very quickly.
Now, Cougar has a grenade launcher, M79, that might spell trouble for Twisted Mind in a bit, unless there's no opening for them to pull that up. But WAG, though, they are staying in the edge, 0 elimination just yet because of what happened earlier. They might take advantage of all the chaos later on once the next phase closes in. We are counting down 35 seconds, and the rest of the teams are already starting all those engagement, but no one is going down yet.
And it pulls towards the current structures where all of these teams are kind of hunkering down, held hostage, you know, all keeping each other in check. A small community just off the side of Brasilia here. I do see that Buriram and as well as Hua, interesting positions that they're in. Hua a bit split up here, Buriram still together, and I think a little bit more towards the southeastern side. I did just spot out Falcons.
Yeah, Falcons, one more has been taken down, and let's see if recovery will be done as E1 is just taking pot shots all around, but for attack all around, they want to attack against Twisted Mind, but Pungat goes down first, and let's see if they'll be able to bring themselves back up. Cooker is also crawling down, and Limit will be able to save him, but that gameplay by Twisted Mind just waiting and buying their time and for the perfect opportunity, and they grab it. Jump God is the only one up in this fight, and he is going for the pickup against Limit X7, but it might be troublesome for them as Buriram will be knocking down as well.
What angle was it? Was he standing just behind a window or something? I'm not sure how the angle was found there by Buriram's side, but with that pick, that might have just been the goal signal that they've been waiting for. Falcons, they've been taking a lot of damage, having to deal with the blue, having to deal with gatekeepers, and plenty of revives have been called through, but it is not as chaotic as the southwestern side. Wait, Pain, jumping in towards RRQ's side, they're going to try and take over the compound, flushing them outside of the garage. Now RRQ needs to throw util back, if not, they're just going to keep on approaching their positions, and this is what we were expecting, a house inside to outside fight.
Yeah, I find out RRQ, will they fight against the Pain? because Pain Gaming is that aggressive, and Razor goes down. Ma'al managed to fight back against Peter, and only one remaining. Noda will not be nodding at this point. He just won out, and he wants to bring back his teammates, but a takedown against RRQ might be it. And RRQ has lost so much in this battle, as Team Falcons will also be in the fray, but it's only Kuroro in that corner, standing still, no sound being made. He just wants to be left alone.
He just wants to chill. That's all he wants. But Pain might just say otherwise, right? As they're looking to push out of the buildings, they might just spot him out. And yes, they already figured where he might potentially be. He tries to go for the double tap, but that just means that the Falcons have been eliminated. Too much resistance getting into the ring. And here comes Buriram as well, knocking on those doors against E1. These building to building neighbor warfare. This community is falling apart.
It's falling apart indeed. I mean, only one will be on top of this community, and it's not the president who will be dictating that. E1, though, they've lost Vidin XP, but we still have Vidin 9 right here. But RRQ eliminated in that battle, and it is such unfortunate for them. Hopefully they grab the points that they need. Here comes Brim United pulling up the monster truck. They might be needing this because the next phase will be an open one, but E1 trying to fight back against Brim United, but they are not winning it. Going MVP will be going out in this point, and Brim United managed to survive. 4-man strong with 9 elimination. E1 is out.
Yeah, unfortunate. I did see one of the E1 members whip out a sniper rifle. I'm not sure what exactly was the full loadout or whether he had a close combat weapon, but I mean, he wanted to go for that quick first shot, missed this opportunity, and then it just snowballed out of control, the way Buriram like it.
Yeah, who else will be going at it based on how they like it, as Pain will not be liking all the pressure that they are receiving from Buriram United, as a battle is happening right now in one of the compound, three-way battle. Twisted Mind just hanging back, and attack all around will be taken down with that RGS, and Nameless will be the guy who pulls that off. Only 2 remains though for Twisted Mind, and Explosive will be going down. Only 1 remain, and Buriram United is just above them. 3 teams in this fight. Who will win? Buriram, Pain, or Twisted Mind? It's a tough call that we can have right now, but Buriram seems like they want to gate this.
Yep, and they also have a man advantage. Pain playing on the outside, outlasting it, and quickly picking up some equipment before getting into this full squad fight. Remember, they are a man down. Get High and Joanna corner themselves, but they're able to double fire onto Noda, who's already down. Peter is the next to fall, and so quickly, BRU take another booyah in a row. 2 for 2 here on day 6.
This is then booyah that Buriram United has taken, leaving the rest of it behind. Again, they are still hanging on the King of Booyah title, and they don't want to let it go. As was mentioned in the interview earlier, they will be pulling out all the gameplay that they have that they might be using on to the grand final. So it's a huge opportunity for the other teams to study them or take them down, but it doesn't look like anyone can do so.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, this is one of the more interesting flight paths as well. So in terms of like changing their gameplay, what exactly did they change? Did they swap their landing zones, which, you know, was out of their control? A lot to be discussed with, but in the meantime, let's quickly go and have an interview with the boys from Buriram with our lovely host. Please take it away.
Mais um buiazão nas mãos do Buriram, e esse veio cedo, essa dobradinha veio cedo aí, né, uma seguida da outra. Vamos ver agora o que eles têm pra falar, porque na primeira entrevista eles falaram que vieram pra jogo, não vão esconder nada. Please, Yusuf.
Wow, I think I really ran out of questions, like what to ask Buriram United Esports. Okay, so first of all, congratulations. This is the second time in a week we've met, so definitely you guys will have a spot for the final stage already. So have you guys planned for anything, or you guys will just keep the old tactics to play like that? ตอนนี้คือก็ทีมเราเข้ารอบไฟนอลแน่ๆแล้วมีอะไรที่เราจะเอาไปเล่นในไฟนอลแบบเรายังเก็บเอาไว้อยู่ไหม
ก็ค่อยไปเล่นอีกแบบนึงต้องดูด้วยว่าทีมไหนเข้ารอบ
Actually, we show some tactic here, but we also have some secret tactic hiding for the finals. But it depends on what team they're gonna qualify to the final.
Great answer. Tá, a pergunta da Yusu foi, basicamente, quando vocês chegarem na final, vocês estão mantendo o mesmo jogo ou vocês estão trazendo novas táticas para o jogo de vocês aqui, estão treinando alguma coisa? E ele falou, obviamente, que a gente está mantendo algumas táticas nossas aqui, mas dependendo dos times que passarem para a grande final, nós temos alguns segredos escondidos. Okay, so Moshi is the only player who who still don't get the MVP of the day, and I would like to know if Buriram today is trying to help him to get the MVP position.
บอกว่าตอนนี้เหลือชีคนเดียวที่ยังไม่ได้โล่ MVP คิดว่าทีมวันนี้ทีมพยายามช่วยผลักดันให้ชีได้ไหม
ไม่ช่วยครับให้ทำด้วยตัวเองครับถึงจะได้เก่ง
No, we wouldn't help. We want him to try to get it by himself so he get better in his position.
Wow. Ok. A minha pergunta foi direcionada para o Moshi, que é o único jogador do time que ainda não pegou o MVP, né? Todos os outros 3 já pegaram. E eu perguntei, vocês estão tentando ajudar o Moshi a pegar esse MVP? Ele falou, não. A gente quer que ele consiga ir por ele mesmo, a gente não quer saber de ajudar ele por aqui não. E é isso, né? Esse é o famoso espírito em equipe. Vamos de melhores momentos, minha família, porque a gente só tá vendo Buriram aqui no dia de hoje.
Yes, and this is the end of our interview, a very quick and cool interview with Buriram United Esports, and this is Jonah. Thank you so much for watching our interview, and now let's head back to the caster and see the highlights.
A little bit of tough love coming from Jonah out there. I mean, it's true. I mean, if you're a team like Buriram United, you just don't give out the MVP or the player of the day. They will need to work on it, similar to what the entire team has worked on. Imagine out of 20 matches, half of which was Booyah, and 15 would be top 3. That's the reason why they're very, very close to 400 in terms of overall scores. And well, it's just Buriram United doing Buriram things. And again, question remains from what we heard in the VOD earlier, can anyone stop them?
Yeah, they're kind of looking ridiculous right now. They haven't lost too many of their gunfights, and even when it feels like they're doing their worst, they have a member down, you know, you're coming in towards that final circle, they still pose a threat individually as a player. They always look for these big trades, and I think it's just the endgame scenarios, and Jonah put it perfectly, right? We have hidden strats, but it really depends on what teams actually make it and what teams don't. It feels like they're building their own little Pokedex for how to deal, you know, finding all the weakness types of each of these teams.
And that's surprising as well, because like in Battle Royale, because of the dynamics that we have in Battle Royale, there's not so much of, I would say, changes of the strats that you can pull off. But Buriram United has different strats depending on the teams who will make it. So that just explains what Buriram United has been up to. Off the game, they study everyone, they know how to fight everyone else, thus they grab all the booyah. But the MVP that we have right now is Wasana with 4 elimination, and again, still Rebel Rush coming from Tatsuya has not been let go. As we look in the double Tatsuya, and the sniper, of course, will be wearing that Skylar and the Cassie that has been in all over the place in terms of healing, in terms of support. But as we look into the elimination, that is a whopping, if my math is correct, the elimination that they have right now is 16 points. Add the 12 coming from the placement, and that is so much more. Well, we'll have to find out how much can they put themselves up on that #1 spot, because no one is contesting it.
No one's contesting it at all. It's not even remotely close right now how much of a lead that Buriram United Esports has against the rest of the lobby. That's why we're looking at everybody else to see whether or not they can kind of change their places, maintain their paces, and it's great to see that Pain Gaming was able to get a good amount of points in that round, ending 3rd in that leaderboard for this particular match. That should be enough to put them ahead of CLG, no problems whatsoever. The real question is how many more points can they get on top of that, just to ensure that once that final day starts rolling by, and more importantly, when they have to face off against some of the best teams, are they going to be prepared for that point rush?
I think at this point in time, Payne is, I would say, in the best position right now to secure their top 12 spot. It would depend on how the rest of the team can take this, because how the way each team is playing, even if they are being taken down, they recover and then bring themselves back up, and it's not that far as well in terms of difference. When we look at Hua, RRQ, even CLG might have been taken out of top 12 already. So Evo's Divine will be up next, and if RRQ manage to, I would say, play the same game that they did in terms of survivability, because in terms of elimination, it just doesn't pay off for them. But in survivability, slowly but surely, they can put themselves in top 12.
Yeah. Honestly, right now, it feels like the entirety of the lobby, especially when we're looking at our key players, E1 and Bururam members of Get High, Pao, and as well as Jonah, there's this tight, very fine line, an unspoken rule, very close balancing between the styles of play that we've seen of outside and inner circle teams. We've seen that teams who make preemptive moves get punished, but if they do it at the perfect time, they somehow get booyahs out of it, snuck away from some of these bigger teams, and we've seen that evolve over the past first 3 days. Once we got to day 4 and day 5, that's where we really see everybody else kind of just adopting, hey, we got to be a little bit more responsive. We can't always be the first person making that move, and if we hesitate too much, we'll be left too far behind.
Yeah, as we look at today's standings, Bermuda United is on top. 2 Blues already on them, and Twisted Mind and Falcons close behind. Payne with 27 points. I think this is there's a good spot for them. RRQ though, they have 15 points from where it started. I think they're very, very close to cross over the top 12, but we want to see how it is in the overall in the bigger picture, and who will need, or what they need to do to be able to cross that boundary. And there you have it. Thank you very much, production, for pulling it out. And top 12 been taken by Hawaii Sports. CLG will now be playing in RRQ. Very, very close. Only 3 points needed for them to overtake CLG, and very close as well to Hawaii Sports.
Very, very tight numbers here. Extremely tight numbers. From Hua to RRQ is already 3 points. If any one of these teams walk away with one map having like 30 points, 40, if they can push it up to 40, that'd be, I mean, I'm looking at Bururam right now, and it's not like they're consistently, they're breaking 20, they're not consistently breaking 30 or 40 as we like to see in our own region in Southeast Asia, but it just goes to show the level of competition.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of changes, a lot of meta changes that has happened region after region, and that's a reason as well why we keep mentioning the Brazilians, Fluxo, as well as Corinthians adjusting to Southeast Asia, because majority of teams out here are coming from Southeast Asia, and the aggression is really working for them. And those who adjust, who adapt against Southeast Asian can have the best of both worlds in terms of placement as well as elimination. They can pull it off, and that's what those two teams has done. So we'll have to find out if Payne Gaming and E1 Sport can continue the role that they have, because they moved up from 11 and 12, now on 9 to 10. And in a bit is we're going to see how it's going to play out in Alpine, because that is our third map, and a lot of things might happen, especially in the rollout that we have. So let's bring it over to our TVC as well as the next game.
So, for our next map, Neptune, do you have any expectations? Because I know we know Southeast Asian teams, but we also know that, you know, Brazil, Latam, Chile, all of these countries coming in from Latam, they're kind of nuts at adapting, and so far they've always shown that even when you think that a Southeast Asian team is so close to grasping it, they can steal it away just as quick.
Yeah, I mean, most of the teams, especially from Group A and C, has, like, the top 4 has been coming from Southeast Asia. As we look at top 3 right now, it's WAG, Twisted Mind, as well as Team Falcon. So we'll have to see how Latam and Brazil will be able to change things right now, because we are ready to head into the Alpine. So let's bring it over to our host to introduce this map.
Vamos pra cima, Peu e Raja. Bora decolar pro nosso próximo mapa, que será Alpine.
So impressive that Bermuda Esports has already taken Booyah as like 2 games already. But we move on to our third map, which is Alpine. And please switch it into another team. I don't want Bermuda anymore because they are too strong right now. Now let's take up and get ready for our game 3.
Bora ver outro time dando buia, gente. Pelo amor de Deus, porque os jogadores já estão posicionados, então aguenta coração, porque decolagem foi autorizada!
Third map of the tour here. We're going to be heading on to the high heights of Alpine. You're not going to have as big as a body count as Alpine right now because it's a dangerous mountain to climb with 12 teams all looking for that top spot. And you heard it from Yunsu herself. Yeah. They just want anybody but Buriram to win this next map. Stop the domination.
Yeah, I mean, one thing though, I mean, Yunsu did ask from the regionals not to let one team grab 5 Booyahs, and it has happened. So if Yunsu asked for it, I think it would happen. And we'll have to find out who will grab the Booyah this time. There's a lot of hope, especially for those hanging outside the top 12. But as we look, it's Y Esports meeting up another team in an early drop. This time it's Retta, and Carlos might not have the weapon, or does have the weapon to go in close and personal. And the Bison that Yanbin is wearing will not be that effective, so he needs to pull away.
Yep, and you can immediately see both sides landed on towards that foundation, and they're like, dude, there are plenty of great snacks here, but I need something more. I need a real weapon if I'm going to take them on. So they back away, and now the battle lines have been set. Now, by stadium side, we do see a bit of the ring already cutting halfway through it, which is a good point to kind of talk about these battle lines, because E1, on the other hand, completely untouched, and then you see On Fire on the roof just begging, hey, anybody here to help me? No? By myself? All right, let's do some damage.
Yeah, the thing is, E1 going against Team Falcons most of the time. Team Falcons win this battle, but E1 is like, they're showing that they badly need the points. They want to push themselves much higher, especially now that we're almost ending, or we are halfway through in this day's battle, and they don't want to be pushed down. But as we look, Vidin right now has a good angle against On Fire, but On Fire is still not out just yet. Peter, though, has been taken down, recovered, and still in the same area. So not quite sure what the plan is for Team Falcons. I guess they just want to get good position. Here comes Riptide Rhythm, miss the target, and Goin will be going out.
This is interesting because E1 has a very wide spread here by Forest Red. And they're already seeing... Oh, wait, actually, finding the very important knockdowns here, instantly gets the revive. So the thorn in their side is already out, leaving Peter to be kind of by himself. The rest of the members have to kind of need to decide which structure they want to hold out on. Let's see if Gui can win this out. No, Peter is able to win it out, but he does get traded instantaneously back. That's just going to be another revive for the side of Falcons. Eventually, once he's been fully eliminated, E1 will get the get the walk back and on fire. Wait, hold on. While all of this is happening, I was looking at the kill feed. I was like, who else got knocked down? And it looks like Alan has been putting some good work into Chris here, and with the help of the electrotherapy, turning that, oh, I could lose, to a guaranteed win in the gunfight as Vitin finds on fire and takes him out.
I mean, Team Falcons is not showing like the Team Falcons that we used to, or E1 is just so much that they have evolved and improved overall. 4 eliminations already that will help them secure their spot in top 12, and one more will be another one will be going out and adding to their elimination. They're now top for this Alpine map, followed by WAG, who really are good in this Alpine. 2 booyahs already from WAG, a total of 68 in this map, and I don't think they will be going down that easily, especially from how we saw them fight off some of the players in this early part.
Yeah, I mean, the early part has been pretty bloody so far, but I think it needs to start calming down in just a little bit, right? First engagement makes total sense that you have to get into a gunfight, but as soon as you start regrouping, you need to make some smart decisions. WAG were the aggressors initially, but they've got Alan and Krillin creeping up fast as Payne expected this, and now are trying to cut off the support system to Alan as Gus needs to win this out. Alan beats him up, is able to get the rush into his face, will be able to take him out, but Payne should find... Yes, they do find the trade back, and WAG forced to hold backwards.
Explore on that M24 takedown before Alan has been knocked out. Now, Payne and WAG, let's see who's going to win. If I'm not mistaken, it's a 3v3 battle that we have right now, but Payne has a better position. Noda goes in, receives a little bit of damage, but managed to inhale into healing as he goes and wait for the signal coming from the rest of Payne Gaming. Now WAG is just in unison moving in for the rush, and the rest of the teams will need to fight back, block themselves, because Peter will be going down and WAG is still on the roll.
They're still going back and forth, trading 1 for 1 each and every single time. While this is happening, Reda is able to get a couple of revives as they want to get involved into the middle of this fight between these two teams. Noda taking the shots. Krillin able to beat him out with the help of Cyrus. Again, the electrotherapy does not care about these walls. You just got to be in close proximity as the Riptide Rhythm to shake things up coming in from Reda to disrupt the revives here. Motovia, he's going to actually try and takes out Lobsy easily as well, but ends up getting traded backwards. This has gone so badly, all because of a single man coming into grief. WAG win Vantage and now get to walk in from the blue for free.
Yeah, they get to walk in, they get to grab 9 elimination, and they look like the kings of Alpine at this point. The reign that they have in here, 2 booyahs overall, even beating Twisted Mind, the Falcons, and Brave United. WAG is a different monster as we look at them, comparing them from the regionals. But Twisted Mind, the aggressor, will beat Twisted Mind against 6 Karma, who's not doing well, but the spread is looking like a good shot for 6 Karma to fire back. Explosive goes down, and Bad will be taking that one, but they pulled out from that approach, and this might be the advantage that Twisted Mind can take over.
Oh, Potro goes down first as Diamond is the next to fall. Nameless takes out Potro entirely, and finally, that should be a quick shutdown here. Twisted Minds getting blasted by the hand cannon itself. A double barrel shotgun was their kryptonite. Saming, still in the blue, is going to take as many pot shots as he possibly can. Nobody takes out 90% of his squad without taking some punishment.
The thing is, Samming has always been the savior. Even from the previous map that we have, Samming is the only one up from that engagement and managed to bring back 2 of the teammates. But E1 will be grabbing another elimination to their side and stepping out into the blue just to chase against YE Sports. They did use the binoculars, spot 2 players, but is this worth it to stay outside and wait for third, waiting or watching for Hawaii Sports?
I think it's totally fine. We see, successful teams do this. Falcons being the most obvious one, who loves playing on the outside of the blue during that third ring and then takes their time to kind of make their way in. But that forces them into a particular playstyle, right? If they hang around too long on the outside to make that decision, it doesn't matter who's in front of you, you got to bulldoze them through.
Now let's see if Samming will be able to bulldoze against Pain Gaming after the battle against 6 Karma, but the pinch against him is not looking good. He will find a vending machine that has been taken by 6 Karma already, and Pain is just blocking him in any approach. And there goes a recovery of 2 players coming from 6 Karma, but Pain has already stepped into the picture, and Bad might be getting it bad. Then Samming will just have to wait and see.
Wait, where's the rest of Pain Gaming's members here? I do see Noda. He could have walked on in and to look for more resources and left his brother out there, but looks like instead, let's quickly cut on over to E1 Falcons. This is round 2. They had an early engagement before, and immediately they have Gwyn already on his knees. Vidin9 is going to be the next to fall here. XP is on the outside. Quickly with a pocket mark. Is he going to purchase a revive here? Yup, he's going to purchase a full revive for his squad. Gwyn and Vidin9 is going to be coming back real soon. But in that meantime, you can see that both Falcons as well as E1, they are not letting this go.
I mean, that is the longest, if I'm not mistaken, the longest fight that we've seen at edge after edge of each phase, and Team Falcons not looking like the Falcons that we used to. And there we have it. We have Twisted Mind eliminated on 11. It's not looking good for them, but there's no pressure. They're still on top 3. And as we look at E1, only Vidin XP is remaining and might not be for long, as Team Falcons has grabbed and fed from those elimination. Team Falcons 7 elimination already. Pain will be recovering some of their teammates, but there's no sight of E1 just yet.
And that's payback for the early engagement here. We do cut back to Pain Peter XL. At this point in time, he's running through the docks looking for does he have enough currency to get this revive point down here? 200 doesn't seem like maybe enough. It should be okay for him. Should be okay. They will be coming from the northwestern side, sorry, the northeastern side of this map. We haven't seen attack all around for the longest of times. It looks like they've been, laying low as they slowly creep into the ring, right smack at the center of the island.
Yeah, let's see if they'll be able to barricade themselves or block anyone who approaches them. For Pain, Peter XL has been taken down by Bad of 6 Karma, and it's not a good way to go. He went into that revival platform, only 1 on the medkits, and outside of the third phase of the circle that really hurts that Bad. It is now heading into the 4th, and 6 Karma knows that they need to get into the next phase of the circle. So Pain will be left with Gus as well as Noda, but they did have 4 elimination. The only question is there enough chance for them to bring back the rest of their teammates, or will they just hang it back and play for placement?
Oh, it's really hard to say, right? It really depends on the landscape, how many resources are still on the map. If there's a good POI on the map to get a full revive, that'd be nice, but most of these teams, no, they're hovering around these POIs in hopes that, they find these stragglers walking by for free elimination points. And now with the UAV being sent out by WAG, it's going to reveal the positions of attack all around. It might just clip the edge of 6K as well. With all that information, you can see that WAG pulls back to the shack on the eastern side, and they can hold their position if they want to, but they also can they look just over the hill? They can't really. They can push up to the rock, but in the meantime, let's quickly cut on over here by 6K and as well as attack all around, because attack all around need to make a choice right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's get into the open against WAG or fight against 6 Karma, which is not working for them because they're losing a lot of HP, so they had to use that launch pod, but they lost one of the players. Cooker is down the ground, nowhere that they can recover him, and Six Karma will just feed off from his going down. Now, Hua is now dealing with RRQ, but Hua says, no, we don't want to talk. We don't want to deal with you. RRQ will be left behind, only 1 point to their side, and they have a good chance in the next phase of the circle though. But on the other side, Six Karma, despite of them being a full squad earlier, they have been eliminated.
Looks like they got punished there. I'm not entirely sure by who. Oh, Buriram getting some great grenades. Rita, it's happening all over again for them as they're getting blasted one by one. Just absolutely done by the launchers coming in from Buriram. They clean them out pretty fast, which is great because Falcons are right on their tail, and Buriram need to reposition to organize their battle lines and to make sure that they don't give them this rock. They're throwing their nades to try and cut off the support system, and that's going to be Peter taking a good chunk of damage, but the rest of Buriram will be turning around the corner here. On fire, Karora and as well as Peter need to take out Wasana as soon as possible, realizing that he's been connected with the electrotherapy. Here comes On Fire to try and cut off the snipers. Riptide Rhythm actually breaks open the position on to that low ground. They need to fight on even footing, find a way to get around them and deny this opportunity for Buriram. Karora is the first to fall as he gets hit huge by Jonah's launcher. A second one coming through. It looks like there is some divine intervention going around as BRU winning out this fight. Falcons, one more, is able to take out Moshi with a quick headshot from his AWM. RRQ quickly on the trace, fishes out Peter, and now all hell breaks loose on the western side of this map. Attack all around, bite the dust.
Yeah, tackle round bites the dust. Now RQ will be stalking Buriram United right now, but Team Falcons, one player is still alive. The one more, given one more chance as RQ pushes Buriram United. They launch themselves onto the other side of the circle with Moshi out. There's not so much of information, but what can the god of M79 do if they are being gunned down? Because Jonah is the only one remaining in this battle, and Buriram United doesn't look like they can survive that longer as RRQ are feeding off everyone surrounding them, and this is what they need. Plenty of points, plenty of time to play with, but as we look at Jonah and Noda, they're just waiting it out.
Oh no, oh Jonah, he's in a lot of trouble. He's speeding this up. Did they take each other out? No, Mal took out Jonah in the process. It wasn't just a quick double elimination. It was one after the other, and RRQ have taken the momentum here to crush the western front and must now deal with the rest of the members on the eastern front. They are healing up very well. I'm surprised that they're still bringing in a healing rifle this late into the game. I would have imagined that they would switch that out. But hey, it's RRQ. They're good at hunkering down and they can sustain for ages, and that's exactly their playstyle.
Now we'll have to find out if WAG can grab their third Booyah in this map, or will RRQ take over. Pressure is being put into WAG, and Shin from Hawaii Sports will just be left behind. So if Shin can play this out, just hide it out, second place will be on them, and Hawaii Sports will be safe to grab a few more points. And WAG losing one of the lives. Ma'al already has his crosshair in one, and here comes the rush. Razor goes in for the takedown, and the rest of RRQ is just rushing in against Cyrus.
Oh, they're making it quick. They're making it so quick. 2 knockdowns before they even got into proper contact. And this should be a quick cleanup from the side of RRQ. That momentum has worked out well as they take out Shin to finally get the booyah that they need to pull this back and maybe break into the top 12.
The third booyah for RRQ, and they only need that much to be able to cross over, and I think they've already done it. But we'll have to find out in a bit if we're going to see who or how they are placing in the overall. But RRQ, finally they have awoken after sleeping for so many matches. I guess the short knockout stage is not working for them, and this is what they need. A little bit of motivation coming from that booyah as we head in halfway through in this final day.
Well, with that being said, congratulations to RRQ for that booyah. Of course, we have to throw it over to our wonderful host to go for an interview with our new winners here, breaking BRU's streak. Let's have that interview.
O dia de hoje está muito disputado. RRQ Kazu vai vir aí para entrar nessa disputa porque não querem ficar de fora da grande final. Então vamos trocar uma ideia com eles e ver o que eles têm a dizer a respeito disso? Yusu, please.
Thank you, Carol. So first of all, congratulations to RRQ Kazu because they finally get their booyah on the match day today. So dudes, I think today RRQ definitely got a chance to qualify, right? So in order to describe your teammates, could you describe your teammates in 3 words for me?
Oke, kan ini juga RRQ punya chance lah buat lolos untuk ke finals nanti. Nah, ada 3 kata nggak yang bisa lo sampein?
Enggak ada sih, kita fokus main aja.
Ya, we just only focus because nothing, because we only just focus to play. Yeah.
Ok.
That's
Ok, Yusu pediu para ele falar um pouco sobre o dia dele e descrever os jogadores em 3 palavras, mas a gente entende que às vezes a tradução pode ser um pouco diferente e ele simplesmente preferiu responder que de fato eles estão muito focados para conseguir essa vaga para a próxima fase, né, que é a fase de pontos, o que significa que eles estarão classificados para a final. Ok, so you guys still need a couple more points to make it to the finals, and I would like to know what you are willing to do to get these points and qualify for the next phase.
Oke, lo masih butuh dapetin banyak poin. Apa yang harus lo lakuin untuk bisa tercapai?
Ya, kita konsisten aja sih biar bisa masuk final.
Yeah, we need to be more consistent to get we can go to the finals.
Are you willing to take down one of those teams that are fighting against you to take the spot?
Ya, lo mau ini enggak sampaikan apa ke tim lain untuk biar bisa nge-spot?
Nggak ada apa-apa.
Nothing, just general focus.
Ok. Perguntei pra eles, assim, é o seguinte, eles ainda precisam de alguns pontos para se sentirem seguros na nossa tabela e o que eles estavam dispostos a fazer para conseguirem, de fato, esse lugar na fase aqui, para finalizar a fase classificatória e avançar para a próxima fase. Eles falaram que eles precisam ser mais consistentes, então eles entendem isso. E logo em seguida eu puxei, vocês estão dispostos a atrapalhar esses outros times que estão disputando com vocês essa última vaga da fase classificatória? E eles falaram que não. Estão tranquilos, estão fazendo o jogo deles. Enquanto isso, minha família, vamos acompanhando os melhores momentos, porque já tivemos 2 buias tailandeses nas mãos da Buriram e agora da RRQ Kazu.
Yes, thank you everybody, and again congratulations for having this booyah. I bet that maybe Indonesian viewers right now are really happy for you guys. So keep this up, okay? This is the end of our interview. Thank you so much for watching, and now let's head back to our caster and see the highlights.
There we have it. We have Duts, right? I mean, the keyword at that interview is just focus. Regardless of what's happening, whether it's them taking one team out of top 12, they just want to focus on their gameplay. Nothing else will bother them. They just want to grab the points, and the points has been grabbed, has been taken. Even the booyah has been taken against WAG, and I just love the comeback coming from RRQ. In a bit, we're going to see how much have they done, though we are looking at 19 points coming from them, but will that bring them across the top 12 spot, and who will be pushed down in the overall standing?
You know, considering everything that's happened, I really thought that RRQ would have a lot more points than just 19. Like, at least break that 20 mark, right? If we're getting closer to 25, I feel a little bit more comfortable here, because that was such a huge momentum swing coming from that southern side, encapsulating the western, and even forcing WAG to, like, hey, this is too hot of a zone for us. Let's just peel back to the northern side and just keep on just poking down all the big name teams. Falcons, Buriram United, for an example, being the top tier targets.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of potential really to be taken down, but RQ managed to survive, and well, that's one thing. When you're on, I would say, the end of the line, there's a huge potential that you can bring out, like, it's like an adrenaline rush, and that is what RRQ has felt. They really need to put in so much, thus they just hyper focus in grabbing so much points, elimination towards the end, and it's just towards the end, because halfway through, all they have to, all they're doing is avoiding such engagement, thus not so much of elimination compared to what we've seen from WAG in terms of points.
For sure. Interesting. Ooh. Oh, wait a minute. Huh. Now, I thought Twisted Minds was the 2-2 team, but it looks like they've got a bit of a 2-2 setup of their own. Each person having a electrotherapy of their own to ensure that their rushers can do their job.
Yeah, I mean, surprising as well that a team will bear double Cassie, and not quite sure though if this is good, but because if you put yourself in that position, it's either they're expecting the like one of the players who wears a Cassie will be taken down, so there's one backup, which is not good because you're manifesting that you'll be losing one player, or they really are planning and using that double rush setup, but it doesn't show because of the number of elimination as well as how many times they avoided it. So I think it's the first one that they had in mind, and hopefully that changed, because I don't want RRQ to be in that mindset that they're already thinking that one of their players will be out and they have to deal with a backup.
Well, I mean, let's pull up their history, right? Because prior to this, yes, they did try to use one electrotherapy and go with the traditional 2 Tatsuyas, one electrotherapy Cassie to go, and Skylar, of course. But let's quickly look at today's standings. Buriram still on top, Falcons in second with 47, but the ones I don't see them, there they are, fifth place, 34 points to their names, 1 point just behind Twisted Minds. Their overall day standings is looking much better compared to some of their previous days, especially day number 3, but if they want to hit their average, they're going to need to end the day roughly around 50 to 60 points.
Yeah, definitely. And this, like the numbers that we're seeing right now, especially from Reda, is not what they are expecting, because they have a good chance to catch up for the top 12, but though they are the bottom though of the 3 teams who need to catch up, and it's not showing up. Like 10 points overall after 3 matches. They are starting it well, but the moment that a team, especially a tough team, jumps into the compound, they're just wiped out quickly. And we've seen that twice for the team from Reda. I mean, they fight back from afar, or they fight from afar, get knockdowns, but not so much of a finisher. Thus, they're losing out on the points.
Well, I mean, if we're talking about, people who are able to finding a couple of finishers, but then unable to kind of close it out, I got to point attention to E1 because, again, they were up against Falcons and they won the first engagement, lost the second engagement, tried to recover, never found their footing afterwards, in comparison to Falcons, who found their footing after losing the first engagement, winning the second engagement, but then goes into the blender storm of fighting Buriram and everybody else around them.
Yeah, that's the thing though. I mean, I was just wondering how long it took for E1 and Team Falcons to finish that fight, to finish all the multiple, like the number of engagement that they went into. And I keep saying, it's not the Team Falcons that we used to see. So not quite sure if something has affected their gameplay, or this is just like mind games coming from Team Falcons. They don't want to show their true potential just yet. They want to reserve this 4th grand finals, which has been done from the region, from the previous regional, where they did grab the championship. But now that Buriram United is on the roll once again in the knockout stage, coming from Southeast Asia, they grab the championship. We'll have to find out if Team Falcons still has what it takes to take it away from Buriram United. As you can see on the board, 2 Buyas from Buriram United, and 1 has been grabbed finally by RRQ, like catapulting them up into the overall standing.
Yeah, with our next map going to be Kalahari, I hope to see some form of a difference between these teams in terms of like shaking it up in terms of playstyles, like Buriram are currently doing it right now. But with that being said, that's going to be enough of us. Let's quickly head on over to our host, the Kalahari.
Assim seja, Raja. Bora decolar para Kalahari, o mapa mais quente e árido do nosso Free Fire Sul.
And this will be our map 4, Kalahari, and we're almost come to an end of this show today. And maybe we already know that we can find the 12 teams already, right? But just wait, the fun is not end yet. So prepare to take off with me and Camilota to Kalahari.
Bora decolar porque os jogadores já estão posicionados, então aguenta coração, porque a decolagem foi autorizada!
we know the battle has been heated up and the map will not change that. The heat will continue in the desert lands of Kalahari, as this is where Bermuda United has reigned with 3 booyahs, followed by Twisted Mind and then Attack All Around. But the question is, will Attack Around fight back? Because so far, in most of the instances that we've seen for the previous map, they are failing, and a lot of potential that can be put in by those in the bottom half of the top 12.
Right now, all eyes are going to be looking towards the center of this map. We've already seen a bit of a skewed flight path towards the northeastern side, and immediately Hua losing one of their members and going up against Reda once again. These two teams cannot seem to get their hands off of each other's. Next one falls. Vidalo already finds Poppy, looking for one more here. Shin and Death have to work together as Death finds one. Eliminating one seems great, but it has to be fast. Close range weapons on both sides. Vectors akimbo. Death trying to pick up Yanbin as Carlos needs to deny, but he's looking towards Shin's side, distracted by it. Vidalo is gonna run to try and claim this knockdown as Yanbin is able to recover in the meantime. Shin falls, and now we see that Reda, they bail out of there. Carlos and Vidalo are done with this fight, and Carlos will slow down anybody who tries to chase his teammate away.
Yeah, Carlos is still full health. He does have the hook gun on his side as a quick getaway, but they might not have spotted the RRQ that is just waiting in one corner. Hawaii Sports being targeted by Reda that really needs the points to be able to put themselves in the top 12, but they are not that near. Thus, they need double effort, maximum effort to be able to carry on. But Guts is just waiting onto one side as Carlos has been brought down by E1 Sport from who knows where.
Oh my goodness, that early engagement, you could definitely see Dudes was getting involved, even Bao was getting involved. They are looking for free B points, and so far it's going well for Hua. At least they'll be able to recover, and Dudes doesn't make it out. I don't know, Death, I don't know about this. That platform doesn't look safe. He tries and takes it out too fast. E1 was not prepared for a second person to take that ramp, manages to get away. Well, would you say it's bad luck? I think it's just bad luck for Dudes, right?
It's bad luck for... I mean, it's the timing as well. It's the timing to be able to get that launch pad, thinking that, like, Pao might not be thinking that anyone else will be grabbing that. So, I don't know. Timing, luck, whatever. But Pao missed out. But on the other side, Razor is feeding off from Hua Esports, and Poppy has gone down. Poon God is now targeting Team Falcons, and Limit on the back side. But AC80 up close and personal might not work for them. On the other side, we are seeing RRQ with 3 elimination, but continuing on, Team Falcons Attack All Around. I did mention that Attack All Around has a booyah already against Team Falcons, who has none, but they are winning this engagement.
Yeah, but they're winning it pretty convincingly so far. Falcons able to get Karoro back into this fight here with one more taking the high vantage point to try and figure out where Limit is going to be. He knows he's somewhere in front of him, can't tell which floor he is, but he shows himself on the roof, chunking him down to 32% of his HP as Limit quickly jumping from floor to floor, parkouring the heck out of there to buy some more time for his squad members, but eventually getting knocked down by one more with his shotty. 4 eliminations for Falcons so far as we cut on over to Buriram versus Pain.
And pain will be felt by Jonah as he will be brought down by Noda with that Parafal, and Pain will grab their first elimination. Will this be where Bermuda United pulls away from this fight, or will they continue on? No recovery just yet coming from this team, but going back to what happened earlier between Attack All Around and Team Falcons, that has been something that we saw, or that we have been seeing so often, and not quite sure how Cougar is feeling about that fight, because Cougar and Karoro did switch places or trade places in terms of team, and like Attack All Around is in losing end in terms of that engagement. But speaking of engagement, Allen up close, missing the shot against Diamond, but finally lands it.
Twist the minds of WAG by Mammoth's side. Diamond is going to be the first to fall here, which is great for WAG because with their man advantage, you could really see how Allen and Cyrus are going to be very very fearless in taking on the rest of the members of Twisted Mind. Speaking of which, the revive does come down through for them. Same goes for BRU, as E1 finally catching up to Hua, as they've already marked them for death, so it only makes sense that they continue the chase. But where's Krillin right now? Is he looking for stragglers here? As he's taken an off angle, it's pretty good because he can still look at the top bones where Twisted Minds usually likes to play anyways.
Yeah, the thing is, we still have Sam Ming, who's more on the information or gatherer for the team, and Alan will be taking down Sam Ming on a Trogon. Surprising mix, but let's see against Cyrus, will he win? That made him pull the glue wall for side of Cyrus, but Sam Ming has been taken down, and Trogon doesn't work well for Sam Ming at this point, so it's time for him to switch back to Sniper. But the rest of the teams, where are they right now? They didn't put up so much of a fight in that engagement.
Yeah, it looks like this is going to be an uncontested fight between Twisted Minds and WAG, right? We can only assume that WAG would prefer staying on the outside, while Twisted Minds is a little bit more flexible when it comes down to the zones. In the meantime, though, they do need to get a higher position, because right now, it's a little too hard to fight them from the high ground. Now, we cut back to Falcons as they're taking on BRU, and they're going all in for this fight by around the Arsenal.
And this is a rivalry that has been happening ever since last year of the regionals, and Bermuda United will need to win this fight just to show that they have what it takes to take down Team Falcons. Peter has been taken out. Wasana has been knocked down with a sniper. Point blank, and Team Falcons seems like they're winning it. They pushed Bermuda United away from this compound, but I don't think Team Falcons will let this go. They want to take down Bermuda United, and on fire is hot to chase. Moshi will be going down, leaving one behind.
Yep. Oh man, WAG looks like they got eliminated down by Mammoth's side. Don't know whether Twisted Minds have suffered major casualties or whether or not. Oh wait, no, it's Retta. Retta has been cleaning them all up here, as well as Pain. It looks like Twisted Minds were not able to get out of the area, and Retta now going with a full engagement against Pain at this point of time by Mammoth's side, replacing the two Titans that were here earlier.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Reddit will need to hunt a little bit more because they need it in Pain. Well, they're just doing Pain things. They are putting up so much of engagement. Again, I told you similarities that I'm seeing from Pain Gaming and Twisted Mind, and the aggressiveness coming from Pain Gaming is really paying off. They brought themselves to 9th place. Now they have to do a little bit more against Retta, who's really chasing to climb up to the top 12. And it's not looking good for Retta, though, because most of the time they lose those fights. Motivate has been recovered, and Noda will be brought down. So Retta is in a higher advantage in this engagement, and Pain might be taken away.
I think they feel it. They feel that pressure. They know that they're running out of time to get these important points, and they're willing to do anything. Italo is going to try his best, but against a 1v4, he's telling the rest of the members, run off. This ain't worth fighting for anymore, as the rest of the Pain Gaming heading further south, trying to stay inconspicuous and hopefully don't get sniffed out by Retta.
We'll see if Retta can sniff out Gus at this point, as well as Motivea. And Gus will be no, not taken out. He pulled out the portal go in the nick of time and managed to regroup with Motivea. Now, Retta is on the chase, and the rest of the teams are just opening up the other angle. But E1 will be seeing Pain Gaming, and if I'm thinking they have been eliminated now. Twisted Mind on their crosshairs, only one remain. It is Nameless, and he might be lifeless after this fight.
And there we go. Oh, with Nameless gone, I don't see the squads going down anytime soon, so it looks like we might have another straggler from Twisted Mind somewhere else. But let's quickly look at the current position of Retta. After hurting Pain, 6K is the next to challenge them on the top of this Mount of Mammoth, and so far, I mean, oh my god, this could be the flank of lifetime. This could be, and he's holding the correct weapon. Oh my goodness, get a headshot and make the crowd go wild.
I'll have to find out if he can make that headshot, especially the angle that he has potential to do so. And 6 Karma just took the ridge and probably away from Lopez because they know that that is something that they don't want to deal with. But on the other side, we're seeing a few more players hanging outside of the blue. Not a place that you want to be in. But now that they are closing into the second, or from the second to the third phase of the circle, pushing down the shift is not looking good for most of the team.
Hey, yo, I don't know. The algorithm's starting to feel prehistoric. It keeps on circling around Mammoth. This is not looking good for every other team. 6K is probably thinking, man, this kind of blows. You know, we were hoping the ring would pull towards the northern side so that Reda had no choice but to come out. Now Reda doesn't even have to move. They're sitting by the bone, sitting by the canyon side. They don't have to move whatsoever and attack all around coming in from the northwestern side of Mammoth. 6K will have to deal with them first.
Yeah, they have to deal with them, and well, let's see who will be jumping on who, as Reda and 6K are just on a standstill right now, and the rest of the teams will be moving in. So Reda needs a better position. I've seen that they have a lot of snipers on them, whether it's a Woodpecker, the M82B, but they don't have the position. So I guess they will be letting go of the top of those bones just to buy some time or get a better look of where the next phase will be heading. But E1 might have beaten them already and spotted them onto the side, and good approach, good rotation by E1, but no conversion just yet.
Yeah, no conversion just yet, but if we really think about E1's position, I don't think it's actually that great. Unless it kind of expands deeper towards the revival point, I don't think they have much natural structure once that blue kind of pushes them in, right? They're just going to be sitting behind these boxes and, more importantly, the transport canisters. But if any other teams start coming from that eastern side, they're not going to have much choice in terms of where they can retreat or look to maybe set up a revive play.
Yeah, we'll have to see on how they're going to approach this. But everyone looks like is on a standstill. We did see earlier Bermuda United take down a couple of players from Twisted Mind, or make, let's say, Jonah. With that M79 take down 2 players from Twisted Mind and now being recovered, but we don't see them in our visuals just yet. But Y Sports feeling a few of those engagement, not only from Team Falcons, but also from 6 Karma, who's way up above.
Looks like we now see the full scenario here. It's Hua up against Falcons, right? Both of these teams have taken significant casualties, but Falcons with more firepower and more trades to their name. 9 eliminations already. They are confident in taking out Yanbin, who quickly leaps away. Can he line the shots up? Yanbin makes it out, but still ends up on his knees. Carol finds the headshot at the very end of it, and now they're just trying to blast through both of them. No revives for you. No blue wall's gonna keep you safe.
Hua might have been eliminated because of that jump, but Yanbin has been the luckiest person twice that he has done or used that launch pad and survived from that flight. Well, the landing is a different story, but the flight is something that he has done quite well. But 6 Karma on the rooftop or on the high ground, overviewing everyone else, a good chance that they can grab and disrupt all the points that is being chased by the other teams. But Saming is in trouble. The only way in is against Bermuda United, and Jonah will feel that pressure, but no takedown. He might be going down, but no! To bring down Jonah to his knees.
Jonah's so close yet so far, wishing that the portal go was reverted back to its original form. So sad. And he's not done yet. He's actively trying to grief BRU. He is looking for as many ways as possible to not give this team another booyah, as Falcons on the northern side trying to push in with RRQ there to try and meet them. Twisted Minds eventually get eliminated here with the help of E1 looking at their backs, but this western front is not good at all. Falcons push back underneath this canyon. Nobody is threatening 6K, which is the big issue. They are predetermining what these rotations need to look like if you want to play for position.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, 6K has stayed in there, utilize and abuse that position for longest time. But outside Nexterra circle, they need to move and full take advantage. But on the other side, we have Vidal being taken down by attack all around. And RRQ, despite of them putting out the knockdowns, the conversion is not going to their favor. Cougar will be coming back and just in time as limit will be expired, as RRQ grabbing not so much but only 4, and most of the time this is where they like feed off or farm all those points. And E1 though, surprisingly 11 elimination already, despite of them tied with RRQ on 11 and 12. There is a good chance that they can pull away and secure their spot.
Oh no, Abe revealed their position of RRQ. Now 6K needs to make a couple of choices. They know BRU could be looking to scale up onto their side. They either completely give up where RRQ is fighting, assuming that there might be another team. They did spot out attack all around earlier, so they're hoping that they fight, and that's exactly what happens as Riptide Rhythm's already starting to cut through. We do notice that Mal is down, Jump God next to fall, Razor doing good work, his limit is next, and wait, the Riptide Rhythm so far behind. E1 now on the opposite front of the eastern end, trying to push BRU off, but at the same time sees the opportunity that 6K and as well as attack all around and presented them. With that being said, attack all around get bowed out with one member left from the side of BRU. It looks like Latam has 2 representatives looking for a booyah here, and BRU 11% win rate chance compared to the 40 and then 49 coming in from E1 Esports.
I'm loving the fight coming from E1 Sports and 6 Karma at this point. But we still have one threat, which is Bermuda United, and let's see if they can play with the fire that is coming from the teams from Latam and Brazil. 6 Karma right now securing the top spot in this area. Moshi has nowhere to go. Pau might have a sniff of where his position is, but Pau is just running in onto the next phase, and it might be on the wire, especially in the closing of this circle, and no hard engagement is happening just yet.
If 6K lose this, if 6K don't get the booyah, they've got prime position, they've got God spot, they've got high ground. What? Moshi is basically making it difficult for E1 to commit too hard, and with the 12 man in hand, does take down Pau. The Riptide Rhythm is only gonna keep him alive for so long, but the covers break, and they ended up taking some casualties as 6K playing like RRQ at Refinery. They are just dominating, forcing everybody to rotate out of position. 6K have played a wonderful game of Free Fire.
Dude, this is it. 6 Karma can secure this booyah. They played high ground the longest time. They played it to perfection, grabbing the first booyah in this competition. And 6 Karma is not out just yet, despite of their position in the overall standings. This is what we call a fighting spirit coming from this team of from Mexico.
Yep, I gotta give it to them. I really thought that we might not be able to see them get a booyah, but the way that they did it really goes to show that they really strive at finding good spots on the map and applying enough pressure to force teams to either take casualties or take an really awkward path in their rotation. Really, truly well done to 6 Karma. They played a wonderful game.
Yeah, I mean, they even outpositioned most of the top teams, or the top teams in this competition. But the final battle, we've seen this before. We've called it already, even before it ends, because 6 Karma really has brought in so much in this fight. So let's hear from 6 Karma.
Buiazão Latam por aqui, arriba, manitos! E vamos trocar uma ideia agora com a 6 Karma, porque eles estão numa situação não tão favorável. Okay, congratulations on your Buia, and I would like to know if you can still dreaming to make to the finals.
Felicidades por el Buia. ¿Todavía sueñan con llegar a la final?
Ahora en estos momentos ya está muy difícil llegar a la final. Lo que nos pasó es que despertamos un poco tarde, no nos acostumbramos al juego que se suele jugar en un mundial, pero bueno, todo queda como aprendizaje. Y ya es muy tarde para poder soñar con esa final.
Thank you for your congratulations and everything. It is a bit hard to get to the final at this point. Problem is that we woke up a little too late. We did not get used to the way that a World Cup is played. It's a little bit complicated to get to the final by now, but it's all a learning process.
Perfeito. A minha primeira pergunta foi se eles ainda conseguem sonhar em se classificar para a grande final. E ele foi bem honesto na resposta dele. Ele falou assim que eles acordaram tarde para o jogo e que eles entendem que estar aqui no Mundial de Free Fire competindo com grandes times, os melhores do mundo, é um processo muito longo e demorado e eles não conseguiram se adaptar a tempo. Mas eles estão felizes por estarem aqui.
Thank you, Carol. So that is a very great mindset that I would love to hear, Nico. So can I ask you that? What is your favorite team here? And may I ask why? Just forget about we are enemies or something like that. Yeah, just come here with make some peace, I think.
Primero dice que es una muy buena mentalidad que tener, qué padre escuchar eso de ti, Nico, y después pregunta que quién es tu equipo favorito del Mundial. Así fuera rivalidades, todo, ¿cuál es tu favorito?
Yo creo que nuestro equipo favorito, yo creo que mis compañeros también comparten lo mismo, que es Burinam, por todos sus logros y todo cómo se desempeñan en el juego.
I think that it's not just me who thinks this, but all my teammates, it's Buriram because of all their achievements and how they play.
Perfeito. Então a pergunta da Yusu foi algo muito legal, inclusive, porque a gente entende que a situação que a Six Karma se encontra agora é um pouco difícil deles avançarem para a grande final. Então ela perguntou qual é um dos times favoritos deles aqui, já que eles estão muito felizes de estarem no Mundial. E ele citou o time da Buriram, porque eles já conseguiram conquistar o mundo, né? A equipe em si. E também eles têm muito a aprender com o time da Buriram. Muito legal a resposta dele. E é isso, minha família. Vamos de melhores momentos. A gente já tem um buiazão da Latam aqui e os caras entendem aonde eles se encontram agora nesse momento.
Yes, this is the end of our interview already, and thank you so much for being a part of this global finals right here in Rio. We are very appreciate that, and good luck to you next time as well. So this is the end, and thank you so much for following our interview. And now, let's head back to our caster and see the highlights.
Once again, lovely interview. Good to get the perspective coming in from the boys at Six Karma. They all appreciate BRU as expected, but at the same time, it just goes to show that here at the global finals, you're expecting to fight against the best of the best. Some teams may not be up to par in every aspect of the game, but give them the right conditions and they can make magic happen.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing I want to point out as well is out of the 3 teams coming from Latin America, all of them has taken the Booyah after Six Karma. So CLG has grabbed a Booyah, Reda has grabbed a Booyah as well, and Six Karma, just what we just witnessed, is grabbed their own Booyah. But they might be the first in the Latin points coming from qualifiers, but they were pushed down so low that they did acknowledge it during the interview. It took them so much time to wake up, and I guess they are regretting it, but as well as learning a lot from it.
Oh yeah, no, this coming into a global tournament, global finals especially, it's just a different ball game, right? I think that's a lot of the sentiments of players who end up at the international after winning their regionals. It's just too different, right? They're too comfortable, too used to what to expect in their own individual regions. But these are growing pains, right? We can only expect them to do better and better and better from here on out. But I do want to see them try to go for another Booyah just to ruin the odds for everybody else and to show off that yes, they still deserve to be here, and for good reason, because Bad has shown up on the MVP list or getting very close to the MVP list time and time again.
Not only in this map, but even in the previous map, in spite of them losing the engagement, he shows up on that kill feed more often than the rest of the team. And that is one thing that Six Karma has to be proud of. They have players that can pull it off. Again, like it's just a matter of closure and finisher in terms of knockout, but they did manage to pull it off. 4 eliminations coming from Bad, plus the 4 coming from the rest of the teams. I mean, 20 points overall, not too shabby for Six Karma, as there is a huge potential that they will not be making it to the top 12 to the grand finals or point rush, but they are showing up just in the perfect timing to show that they're not quitting just yet.
I mean, spirits are still gonna be high. I've noticed this with a lot of the Latam region players. Every time we see their player camp, they're never in bad spirits. They're always having a good time. If not, they're like, man, these games are getting more and more intense, but they always have a good laugh about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much how it is in the Filipinos. You know, Filipinos has like Latin America blood, so I guess it's
distant relations.
Yeah, different relations. But anyways, that is, I mean, halfway through or past the halfway mark, and we just finished Kalahari. We are off to Nexterra, and then later a random map. But we've seen so much of a turnaround. Some of the engagement as well as the placement in the overall, but well, I don't think we will be shown of any much of the overall. We want to keep that suspense towards the final match as well as the final ending. So for those of you wondering why, well, that's it. We don't want to spill any beans just yet in terms of how things are going in the top 12.
To all our Asian brethren out there, you know what to do. Pull out your calculators and abacuses. Keep track of it all day long. I don't know who has an abacus these days, but if you do, you know, shout outs to you guys. That's my target audience.
Well, my kids has one, but they are toys. Toys. You know how it is. Like there still are some toys coming up. I don't know how to use them, so I couldn't teach them how to use it. But yeah, if that is something that, well, it's something that we can do as well. That I want to do. I'm a man of numbers, and I want to see how it's going to end up. But in a bit, we're going to see a little bit of video coming from our sponsors, and we're going to jump over to our next map. So let's hear a word from our sponsors.
No está cerca del mar. Yo de aquí de la ciudad. Mira. ¿Tú de qué parte eres? Del norte. Aunque es una zona cerca de un día, pero...
And there we have it. After hearing from words from our sponsors, we are preparing for next map, and this is Nexterra. One thing though that I am seeing in terms of numbers is Attack All Around leads everyone in terms of this map, but Pain Gaming is second, and they haven't grabbed any booyahs on this specific map. So they only manage with placement as well as elimination following Attack All Around. As we can see, we also have Bermuda United and Twisted Mind on the list because of the number of booyahs that they have. So in a bit, going to bring it over to our host to introduce this next map as well as the next battle. So we might be, we might need to wait a little bit before we get into the Nexterra, as we are just waiting for all the players to make sure that they are prepared, they are all set up before this map number 5 happens. So, Gideon, what do you think? Is there any chance that other teams already pushed themselves on the top 12 being relegated back outside of the top 12 spot?
It's honestly, it's really difficult to say, right? Because again, I would like to imagine that it has to deal with the compositions, the way that they have their setups, but with the most used characters being Tatsuya, Skylar, and as well as Cassie, it really isn't deranging outside of that. We haven't seen too many go for a 3 Tatsuya lineup as often as we did in the regionals compared to the global finals, and even so, among Southeast Asian players, I think it's all been kind of streamlined to the global finals as a means to an end. Even so, I still do think that these early engagements really play a large part of the game, maybe for like the first minute or so, but once you get into the 3rd minute onwards, I definitely think that the fighting needs to calm down, as majority of the players on the map will need to kind of either, you know, coming back from revives, they need to re-equip themselves, arsenals are going to be opening up soon, not to mention revival points. So definitely think that, you know, teams who do well in the early game can actually snowball out of control from mid to late, but most of the time it comes in phases, right? 2 big bursts that are going to happen within a game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a good point though. I mean, I love that you pointed out, because from what we've seen so far, especially in this specific day, is there might be some teams who are waiting out in some of the engagement, but it hasn't stopped from moment to moment. From the beginning, from the early engagement, the hot drops, and then something will be happening on the other side of the map, but it's still an ongoing match, not so much of a pause in terms of getting position, getting information. It's just ongoing. Thus, it's difficult to tell if anyone can catch up or catch so many points to secure their spot on that top 12. So it's a good point, Gideon. And we're seeing some of the teams, specifically Team Falcons, like taking this time to have a little bit of fun as they wait for the next map.
You know, when you're having issues like this, it's good to see that at least the teams want to keep the energy up, want to make sure that the mood is still good. But now we see the full opposite, right? The Latam teams are one, okay, once we're getting in game, it's serious. Out of the game, that's when it's good vibes, chill times.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of pressure coming in onto the Latam teams, especially Reda as well as 6 Karma, because they did grab Booyah. They haven't given up just yet, and Reda might still want to cross over. But the only team that is stopping them from doing so, or 2 teams though, is RRQ and Hawaii Sports. Though 200 has been reached by both teams after that match number 4. Will there be a chance? Yes, because Hawaii Sports is not surviving that much in terms of the early engagement, and they have been pulled down so many times. So Reda might be able to overtake them. In a bit, we're going to see how it's going to turn up. We're going to bring it over to our host to introduce the next map, which is Nexterra. So, Camilota and Yunsul, take it away.
Vamos para a Nova Terra, o nosso próximo mapa, Yunsu.
This is our 5th map, Nexterra, and in our ranking board right now, top 12 and 13 are Who Esports and Red Eye Esports, so where they are fighting so hard to get the last ticket. So I hope everybody will cheer the best for them, okay? Because I'm going to cheer for my team. Who Esports, what about you guys? Leave the comment in our section so I can know that, okay? Now let's take off.
Eu não sei o que vai acontecer com a Hua, mas eu tô preocupada com o Yuan e Penguene. Bora decolar porque os jogadores já estão posicionados, então aguenta coração, porque a decolagem foi autorizada!
Most take a bullet to the head before they even set foot in the city of the future. Welcome to game number 5 here on day 6. Each of these teams have been fighting extremely hard to get to this point, but the top 12 has not yet been secured, while everybody below the 11th position looking for that opportunity to squeeze their way in to lock in that final spot. Let's see how it plays out with a very even line cutting straight through the island.
And speaking of looking, we are seeing Reda looking for YE Sports once again. They really want to take this team out and grab a few more points to put themselves on the top 12. But I don't think they can fight back that easily against YE Sports, as everyone from YE Sports is still alive. And Reda is the one receiving damage. Chris goes down with a Mag 7 coming from Yan Bin. And even Poppy is putting that much against Lopez XL. So Reda needs to pull away and recover, regroup before they fight against YE Sports again.
Same story, different map. Reda and Hua have been at each other's throats, but this has been a very fast execution coming in from Hua's side. Now, Reda was able to get a revive down just before he got shot at, and Vidalo, he has to buy as much time as possible here for his squad members to look for currency. Takes out Shin, luckily. Yanbin should be able to clean this up with the Mag 7, but it looks like Vidalo, he's taking the 2 for 1. Oh man, that's enough. He's done enough. He was able to take out Yanbin just in the nick of time. Oh, the damage from this. It's gonna cost Hua. Let's see how much it does cost them, because it looks like they're sending one of their members out knowing that 6K and as well as WAG are up for grabs. Speaking of which, Hua notices something is going on here. Is 6K making some noise by Twin Bridge? Looks like they have to reroute their execution.
Yeah, they need to reroute their rotation as well. But as we look in, WAG going in against YE Sports, they also found a few from 6 Karma. But we are looking at RRQ right now, 4 eliminations on their side, and they're still at it, chasing down against a tackle around Limit X7. Nowhere to go but to fight. E1 though going against Twisted Mind, and we're only seeing 2 players from Twisted Mind, no backup just yet. FGL being dealt with, and Nameless up close and personal against Viden 9, make that go in as well, and E1 might be left out, only Pow remains.
Oh no, it's not over just yet. The blender continues. Flames, glue wall, fire, and on fire, looking to close out the rest of the members coming in from Twisted Minds, looking for one more. X finds Xboxy, hops out of the window, gets Nameless as well with the Vec. Oh my goodness, that RRQ is going to be able to find some eliminations, but Falcons, holy cow, what a bulldoze.
Yeah, I mean, in a 1v2 situation, the Vector really worked for him, and Peter managed to grab 2 from that battle. On Fire did so an early part of that engagement. Well, let's see who else will be fighting against them. But Twisted Mind is not out just yet, as one of the players will be recovered. The same goes for WAG. Clinton will be back, but Team Falcons very close to YE Sports. This might be a fight that YE Sports doesn't want to take. Thus, they need to pull away. 6 Karma, bad, will be in the horizon as well, but no angle for them to take. And in this fight, Limit X taking down Diamond, while the rest of Attack All Around is just running around.
Again, Attack All Around, their biggest problem is taking too many casualties. They want to go back to their previous playstyle. Just keep it chill in the early game. Look for some picks. And then once mid-game comes around, start the gatekeep. I thought Poncho got out of there just in time, but no, still gets taken out. WAG are on fire right now. 9 eliminations. They're not the killer leaders just yet, but so far their eliminations coming on from the northern side of this map has been doing them wonders, and it's not like they're hunkering down. They are hunting for these stragglers.
Yeah, they're hunting. There's not so much that they need to do to put themselves in the top 12, but they really want to disrupt everyone else who's trying to do so. 6 Karma, though, has been really disrupted, and despite of them being brought back, 2 of their players will be knocked down, and 1 coming in from that flight. But as they continue this battle, they did get 3 elimination, and we still have 10 teams in play. We are still in the first phase of the circle, going to second, and we'll have to see who else survived. Nico right now, double pistol in hand against the AUG that Shin has. That would spell trouble for Nico, but I don't think Nico will play this that easily, but I take it back. Shin really wants to take him out. No waiting indeed, and that flight might be troublesome for Pocho.
Yeah, I think the worst part about this all is that he's got the currency to get his members back up, and so they don't really mind here taking any kind of trades against 6K this early on. Death, no resources to work with, ends up going down to his knees, while Bad, hopefully he can actually escape and make it into the ring. He's got one of his members trying to stall them for as long as possible, and Hua just taking their time with this.
Yeah, I mean, let's see if they can take more time, as one has been taken out already. Pocho and Bad will be taken out, eliminated, but no takeout for the entire team just yet. I guess they were able to bring back one of their players, and they are still alive. They've done this before, but after that booyah, I thought this will not be happening for them. But there's not so much of high ground for them to stand by and watch over the rest of the teams. Thus, they're falling one by one.
Let's look at this next ring as it pulls down towards the southeastern side of the map. RRQ going to be locking down Mudside at this point. And it looks like they are marked for death. Not entirely sure by who, as we see 6K looking to hold by Zipway, Rusttown controlled by Attack All Around, and the rotations are going to be really interesting on this one, right? WAG, they basically farmed up, they've barely taken any casualties, but they're looking to fight all the outside teams, Twisted Minds, Falcons, and even Hua.
Yeah, I mean, it's just up to them to be able to put their guard up. Otherwise, they might be caught off guard in their approach on the next phase. Even though on Boxing Gym, I mean, they are quite in a comfortable position, other than RRQ, who have spotted them as well. But Vidin spots a Bay, and a Bay just runs around. A distraction that will not happen because Pow 7 is just so good in his knife, and there goes the takedown. And that is one thing that you don't want to mess with, a guy like Pow 7 who has his crosshair on you.
Yep, you don't want that guy locked on you just yet, but I mean, there are worse things. There are worse things. And right now, 6K, they don't mind just walking away from this. RRQ will have to face off against Attack All Around, who both identified this to be a pretty important structure or entire town to fight for. Now, RRQ, they've got a setup where they're all close together, so they don't have much coverage. And it looks like Attack All Around know exactly where they are. They're not making any sloppy movements. They're not just hesitating and going into this fight. But Attack All Around, they just need to find that first initial pick, and it's already come through.
It come through, but the pickup has been done, and what RQ is aiming at is to take that vending machine and bring back one of their players, which is a buy, but they are receiving a lot of damage. Thus, they will be pulling away from this engagement, going in to Pain Gaming, and Razor did feel that from the VSK that Motivea has been pulling out. Now, Gus and the rest of the teams of Pain will be on their toes, knowing that RRQ is very close, but I don't think they will start a battle just yet.
Well, speaking of a battle, WAG bringing it to 6 Karma right now, who have locked themselves in, trying to play the siege. One way in, one way out, as they keep on— oh, what? That still connects him from the other side. Delax is down, and now WAG start flooding on in. They've split themselves up in 6A, looking for any means to escape. Gonna launch themselves out. Bad is still in the area. He could look to put some damage into WAG while they're going around, but he's opted to take the next structure. WAG, they're just scavengers right now. They're picking on weaker teams, and more importantly, teams who have a clear disadvantage. If they're a man down, perfect. If they're able to find a pick, perfect. WAG doing what they do best.
And there goes Bad being spotted by Allen. This might be it. There you have it, the takedown by Allen, and 6 Karma after grabbing it. Booyah will be taken out. And Y Sports will be jumping in on the next phase of Circle, but Death will be dealing with Samming first before doing so. But with mine, even if outside of the blue, they have a good chance to spot out those jumping in, but WAG has beat most of them into the fray. In the edge of the next phase, waiting for anyone else to rush in. Death is knocking on Death's door.
Oh, last member. I mean, Hua, they preemptively jumped into the middle there. Really unfortunate for Death. One bad choice from Hua really hurts them, but at the same time, they are still walking away with 8 eliminations from the early game scuffles that they've had with some of the other teams. But let's see whether they get more positional points as the blue starts closing in. It is only the 3rd ring. It kind of hurts. 2 med kits left, but you just gotta pray an opportunity presents itself to get yourself out of there.
Yeah, very close to the vending machine. He's just buying time to make sure that he has enough health before he runs in. But Twisted Mind will be there as well, and he needs to move around, but into the side of Team Falcons, nowhere to go. And wow, this might be it. Bye-bye for this game. No elimination just yet, if I'm not mistaken. Or have they been taken out?
It looks like they have been taken out. It went from 9 squads to 8. Just didn't get the graphic to pop up in time. Don't worry about that, because BRU has been under the radar this entire time. They've taken significant damage from themselves, but at the same time, they like to dish out damage. But they've taken a very quiet approach into this. They're slowly creeping in from the western side. Pain trying to keep them in check. WAG, kings of the north at this point, right? I don't think anybody's contesting them at this point. They're real strong at holding that northern side, and they've punished a lot of teams who've come their way thus far. RRQ being one of those teams, flying down from spawn, taking the damage, and BRU looking to get some position onto Pain as they take out these stragglers.
And one thing about position as well as stragglers, especially those coming in from the revive flight, is they are showing information as to where the rest of the teams are. So crosshairs will be on there as they haven't spotted Pow right now, as he is the only one that I keep seeing who has the Cart 98. Will need to have more accuracy to be able to push out everyone, especially on that snipe. But Team Falcons 8 elimination and still 4-man strong. They are challenging attack all around once again. The rivalry continues, but on the other side, Twisted Mind will be taken out. We're down to 7.
Down to 7 now. Looks like I was wrong with the call earlier. Looks like they did manage to get one of their members out, but eventually falling down too. Paid. Oh, good. Gus? He had a really good ricochet angle there, but ends up losing. Drops to his knees as Wasana quickly tries to take advantage of the situation. They glue themselves off of there. Really good play coming in from Pain just to deny Wasana that small gap in their defense. Now back up to full health. The squad goes full 4v4 as the utility being dumped into their building, but they got to flush out. Oh no! That glue wall didn't bounce in the wrong spot, and it looks like it did. Goose ends up going down. The timing of that could not have been worse.
What? And that's one thing. If you pull out a glue wall, make sure that there's no gap. Otherwise, a grenader, just like Jonah, will be able to squeeze that nade in and disrupt your approach. So Pain will be in trouble as well. 2 elimination and just running away from Buriram United, but there's nowhere else to go. We only have a small zone and a lot of teams fighting, and even Team Falcons is not yet over against attack all around, thus eliminating them on 6. Now 5 more to go, and Buriram United is just farming for points from afar.
Oh, they are, but now WAG and Buriram United are going to be looking towards E1's side. They just finished off their fight. They're trying to recover, but WAG is not going to let them, harassing them back into the back corner of this building. Has the launcher out, by the way. He knows what he's doing here. He's about to start lighting a fire in this building with plenty of wood to burn, but BRU now getting in the middle of the mix, actually engaging against WAG, which is perfect for E1. Oh no! He tried to survive, but Falcons took him out just in time. They lose the position, and now WAG should be the next to fall as they got caught with their pants on the ground. Buriram United on the outside of the compound, Pain inside of the compound, and Falcons watching from afar.
One more. Where are you getting that angle? He goes in for knockdown. The pickup will be made, but damage has been dealt and resources will be wasted. Noda needs to be recovering because it only is a matter of time before the blue closes in and everyone will be pushed against each other. Team Falcons in a good position though, but Buriram United in a higher position to spot them out. WAG still has 1 player in the mix, but no sign of him to be able to fight back, and Allen might be in trouble as Get High is knocking through.
I think right now BRU are in a really interesting spot, right? Because not only do they have control over the roof, they also have control over the staircase around it, and now they're punishing the Falcons, right? This is why this position is so good. You have multiple levels of height to play with, while at the same time having full coverage of the map itself. So Pain, they can either get in on this and also look towards Falcon's side, because they're not shooting BRU at any time.
I'm just surprised. I'm seeing Wasana on the sniper. SVD's working for him, but Team Falcons is in trouble. Even with that small of a cover, it doesn't work for him, especially if Moshi is on the snipe. And that AWM gameplay will put them to their knees. Now, Team Falcons brought to only one player, similar to what we saw from WAG, and it's up to Pain and Buriram United to fight it on.
Oh yeah, and Buriram United also know that Pain are in this building. Pain gonna quickly do an early glue wall here. They want to limit the play space, but at the same time, the Charge Buster almost connects there. Really, that would have been a nasty shot, but they're really taking their time, and I love it because Buriram, they've already wiped out the Falcons. WAG still crawling in. Riptide Rhythm's finally gonna come through. Pain should be able to get this. Get High gets the back shot onto Motiva. Looks good, but with Asana as well as Joanna breaking their positions, nobody's playing together, and that's all BRU need, as WAG is trying to out-heal that ring, but you just know. How many does he have? He has 9. He has 9 medkits. He's trying to hold on. Now Wasana falls before he can break it, and he still is able to knock him out. BRU take another booyah.
Good decision making from Wasana though. I mean, he knows that that's the only compound, that's the only corner that can be taken by WAG to be able to survive, and because Buriram United knows the healing gameplay all too well, and they're just putting themselves in WAG's shoes, thus putting them away before winning that battle. Buriram United, they're 11th booyah in this knockout stage, and they're not slowing down.
They're not slowing down indeed. Love the different playstyle here. Really took their time with this battle. I mean, I don't know. We're probably going to talk to this while this interview is going to happen, so we're going to be throwing it over to our host. I don't know what questions they can give them over to BRU, but good luck as we send you off to them.
Aparentemente, a Buriram quer finalizar a fase classificatória em grande estilo. 3 buiazões nas mãos deles agora nesse momento. Vamos trocar uma ideia com o Rush da Buriram, o Asana. Please, Yusuf.
This is the third booyah belong to Buriram United Esports, and right next to me is Wasana. So Wasana, I would like to ask, normally in a day, what would you guys have for breakfast, lunch, dinner, so you guys can have this champions vibe?
ถามว่าในแต่ละวันน่ะเราทำอะไรบ้างแบบตอนเช้ากลางวันเย็นเราถึงแบบว่ามีออร่าของแชมป์ขนาดนี้
ก็ส่วนใหญ่ก็เล่นแต่กับเกมครับก็พอมีอะไรก็แบบอยู่ด้วยกันแบบคุยแผนกันคุยอะไรกันแบบหมกมุ่นกับรายการนี้มาก
So mostly they keep staying all together to practice. They can say that they are too focused on the game because they like put all the hope for the championship.
So they don't eat at all?
They don't eat at all. Just play all together.
Okay. So they starve themselves and eat the game? Ok, a primeira pergunta da Yusu foi, já que vocês estão tendo resultados tão bons, quero saber um pouco mais da rotina de vocês, o que vocês comem no café da manhã, o que vocês têm comido no almoço. E, na verdade, ele falou basicamente assim que eles comem o jogo o tempo todo, entendeu? Eles só estão reunidos para jogar o tempo todo. Okay, so I remember previously we asked one of the players from Buriram about who they wanted to see making to the finals, and they said they wanted to see all the Thai teams, but obviously they want to win it. So I would like to know if they can say it, maybe they can take one of the Thai teams out to not get their trophy. So who would it be?
Except them, right?
Yes, except them.
A tricky question. เขาถามว่าเขาบอกว่าตอนแรกอะเหมือนเขาถามทีมเราแล้วเหมือนทีมเราอะบอกว่าอยากให้ทีมไทยอะเข้ารอบกันทุกคนแต่ทีนี้เขาถามว่าถ้าเกิดหนึ่งในทีมไทยที่จะได้แชมป์เนี่ยไม่ใช่เราคิดว่าอยากให้ใครได้
ต้องเรียกเหรอ
ใช่
เลือกผมก็อยากให้น่าเป็นทวิตละมั้งครับทวิต
ทำไมคะ
ก็อาจจะเป็นเพราะไม่รู้ครับแค่รู้สึกอยากให้ได้เฉยๆถ้าไม่ใช่ผม
He said that if he have to choose one of the team that gonna win, like for the Thai team, he should tweet that mine. But I asked for the reason, and he said like I don't know. I just feel like I want tweet that mine to win.
Oh, okay. And and which team that he doesn't want to see winning from Thai?
แล้วทีมไหนที่ไม่อยากให้ชนะ Are you creating enemies?
โอ้โหคำถามเรียกนี้เลยนะ ผมว่าก็ต้องเรียกเหรอพอคอนก็ได้ครับพอคอนเขาได้แชมป์เยอะแล้ววันนี้ผมขอบ้าง
Yeah, they say that it should be Team Falcons because this year they already get to championship.
Ok. Yeah, he did good. Tá, minha pergunta foi mais direcionada porque, assim, em algumas outras entrevistas eles falaram que gostariam de ver todos os times tailandeses na final. E a gente tem aqui AAA, Team Falcons, Twisted Minds e a Buriram. E aí eu falei pra eles, se você pudesse escolher quais desses times, além de vocês, pudesse ganhar ou estar ali, né, junto com vocês, e também escolher um pra não ganhar, quem seria? Primeiro ele respondeu que ele gostaria de ver a Twisted Minds ganhando, né? E em segundo lugar ele falou que não gostaria de ver a Team Falcons ganhando, tá? Da região da Tailândia, tá bom? Só deixando isso muito claro, porque a Team Falcons já ganharam 2 vezes esse ano alguns outros campeonatos. Mas é isso, vamos criar aqui uma farpinha entre tailandês e tailandês também? Então é isso, minha família, vamos de melhores momentos.
Yep, this is our 5th game already, and we are about to go to the 6th game, and I hope I can interview the last member of Buriram. Yeah, but that is my hope. But thank you so much for watching our interview, and now let's get back to our caster and see the highlights.
And Wasana was just being nice out there. First off, like cheering on Twisted Mind if in case like he wants a team to take the championship other than them. And well, he probably just thought of Team Falcons because of so much rivalry coming from different competition. They always have been pushed down second or third in so much competition, and Falcons has grabbed that #1 spot. But one thing is for sure though, I mean, they are starving themselves and eating up the game. It seems like it because 11 Booyah seems like they're very much hungry for Free Fire.
Oh yeah, they don't want to get close to the trophy just to not lift it. They do well in these stages, and this is what we expect from them. But once we get to the checkmate format, once we get to the point where you got to win it all, I'm hoping that Buriram this time will be able to pull through. But at the same time, the competition is only getting tougher, right? And most teams usually take their time during these groups.
Yeah, they're taking their time. They're not showing the true potential, especially if they've secured the top 12. And that would be a trump card that most teams has been pulling out, especially in the grand finals, even in Point Rush. But Buriram United will not slow down, especially with how they are grabbing the Booyah. They know how to play this game, and they did mention in one of the interview that they know specifically some tactics to use based on who will be getting into the top 12. But our MVP, the guy that has been interviewed, was Sana with 5 elimination and 25-15 in the damage, 7 assists. But as we look at the rest of the teams, not so much of a change. They are still using it as a aggressive healing and a 3-1 split with Moshi and a sniper. This is what they have in terms of the character loadout, but it does pays off in terms of their stats.
So here's the thing, right? I've been keeping an eye on BRU and what specifically their MVP, because we don't see the entire team's loadouts in terms of weaponry. Wasana, both times he got MVP, both times had a sniper rifle in hand. Is this one of the few changes that they made? Because prior to this, I remember them whipping out the AUG a couple of times. I remember whipping out the Groza as well, putting Wasana on a more of an AR style mid to short range combat. Now, purely long range on top of having a close range gun. I think this is what's allowing BRU to have that overwhelming pressure. It feels like, oh, if their sniper takes that first shot, you're still not safe. There are 3 other snipers who are out to get you if you stick your foot out.
That's one thing though. I mean, we know Moshi is their sniper. When D-Long played, Jonah stand in as a sniper. Now with Wasana, who can pull out a sniper as well, we're seeing a possible triple threat in terms of long-range engagement. So, Wasana, I mean, it's good that you can wear a sniper in engagement just like this, but don't get too comfortable because it might change your close quarter combat capability. Because similar to what we've seen Kaspersky have done from the past, he tried to be a sniper, but he's more of a CQC player, and they all mess up. But you did point out a good point. Every time that Wasana is a snipe, he does grab the MVP, so it might be working for them.
Well, I do also think that, previously when he was on the AR, he always had to make the tough decision of, hey, do I have the green light to go in? Do we have like Riptide Rhythm ready to go? Because that was his biggest problem. Yeah. Every single time he goes in, the Riptide Rhythm, teams reposition outside of it, and now it's like, I got this AR, but I'm not crushing these glue walls as fast as I would like to. I can only fit in one shot. You know what? Take away this AR, give me an AWM. I just need to put one shot, good enough damage for the rest of my team to clean up, and so far it's been looking really good for them as of right now, but that could easily change like you mentioned. I do think that even if they do decide to go for like double CQC, for specifically just Wasana, they lose a little bit of their pressure, because I do feel that in terms of damage numbers, it's not as high previously compared to what it looks like now, but maybe that's because he's using the sniper rifle, and maybe, I haven't run the numbers exactly, but hopefully we might get a bit of an idea. But before we get into that, we're going to be throwing it over to our sponsors to say a little bit of a word of knowing what exactly is going on here at FFWS. Please, sponsors.
There we have it. Well, going back to the topic at hand, Bermuda United, I mean, the changes, switch up, it is being deadly right now. But now that we come to that conversation earlier during the MTV, or during the interview of the MVP, there's also a possibility that they're avoiding Moshi to be the MVP.
Isso a gente não vai descobrir agora. O que a gente vai descobrir juntos, nesse exato momento, qual será o mapa para finalizarmos a fase classificatória, Yansu.
Finally, it's gonna be the last map for the random brawl, and after this map will be the end for the knockout stage, and we will officially find out 12 teams qualified to the final stage. And now, let's see our random map.
Ooh, Alpine. I mean, this is a map wherein previously, or from the past, Bermuda United has reigned in, but they have been replaced in the knockout stage of the globals by WAG. And as you can see on that ranking, they're currently third, but I don't think they will be letting that go, Gideon.
I have to agree. This is going to be a really tough one for especially Alpine. Good luck to all of our teams here for our very last map of the day. Let's head into it.
Bora decolar, Peu e Raja. Vamos para nossa última queda da nossa fase classificatória, Yansu.
Yes, and our sixth map will be Alpine, and I just saw a player. They changed a player into E1 Esport, and that is Bomb. So I think this game is gonna be so fun. So everyone, let's sit down and enjoy our last game in this knockout stage, please.
A Bombom entrou para jogar com o Iwan, a gente fica emocionado e vamos torcer muito para ambas as equipes brasileiras, porque os jogadores já estão posicionados, então aguenta coração, pega sua pipoca, porque a decolagem foi autorizada!
Final map for the final day of a knockout stage, and this is a chance for any of the teams who's still hoping to get to the top 12 to do and give out all their best. And yes, Yunsul, I mean, we just saw E1 Sports bring in Bomb, the only female player that we have in the global finals, and I love to see how well they can play this game. But Reda back again at it against Hawaii Sports.
They haven't stopped. The grudge match continues between these two teams with quick early contact to eventually retreating and looking for weaponry. We see that Rita is opting to go those who have weapons to kind of hold the ground here and limit the space that Hua actually gets to play in, as E1 already finds their own elimination of their own up against Falcons. Nonetheless, another grudge match happening on the opposite side of the maps. Vitten9 going to be trying his best to give support from far away. The full Falcon squad isn't here just yet, but they do find one in Vitten XP. Now, E1, they need to start backing away, but there's a lot of open area and no glue walls to actually work with. It looks like Guid is going to have to hold the front line for now, as the rest of the members should be running off, if not regrouping to join this fight.
Bomb right now is just heading away just to make sure that they have a lifeline to play in against Team Falcons if in case they lose. But Vidden right now is still in the fight. Unfortunately, Goin will be taken down. It's up to Bomb to bring back their teammates. E1 Sport currently hanging in very close to top 12, but with Bomb in here with 600 coins, a potential of bringing back one teammate is the only chance that they have to fight back. But Bomb is not being chased though, and Team Falcons is very far, so it's up to her to bring this into the fight. We still have 11 teams, no one being eliminated, only E1 Sport who is in at risk.
Oh boy, I don't know, with the way the Falcons play, they don't usually leave stragglers alive most of the time, or they usually corral around revive points to maybe wait for the revive to come down and then hurt them some more. But Hua and as well as Rita, both of these teams have been at each other's throats time and time again, and even so, it's not done just yet. WAG has been the main proprietor as to why both of these teams walk away with major casualties. And because this fight has dragged out so long, most of them are at full fighting strength, ready to actually challenge WAG as they push into town.
A three-way battle where everyone has regroup and recover. A good point indeed. Now, who has a better position and good weapon in hand might win this battle. We are seeing a few of those engagement and takedown coming from 6 Karma as well from the other side of the map, but we continue on in this three-way fight. In the middle is Reda, and on one side would be WAG and Hua Esports. This is two Vietnamese teams sandwiching Reda in this fight, and Death will be meeting that not against Reda, but from WAG Export.
Oh boy. There's no way to identify people from the same region, and it looks like Hua is taking a majority of that damage. WAG is putting a lot of shots into them. Same goes for Reda, and now with them out of the picture, they just have to deal with each other as Reda is trying to move away from that compound. WAG is smart, very smart indeed, rushing straight to the POI, the revive point, and as Reda is going to revive one of their own players to quickly scout out where Hua was at the same time, also spot out WAG running across and quickly beelining for an exit.
Yeah, they did try to go in for the exit, but WAG is already there and grabbing all those elimination. Whether it's Reda, whether it's Hua, they don't care. As long as they can get the points, that is what matters. Export and chase right now against one player of Reda, and there's no slowing them down. Vidalao will not be allowed to get away as Export and the rest of WAG blocks all the exit.
Oh, Vidalao with a quick 180 takes out Export despite Export having a clean angle, and Alan the shield was not able to reach his teammate in time as he gets blocked off from running up the stairs, having to deal with a secondary adversary. Jumps across the corner. The jump shot was not good enough, but Italo does take one with him at the very least, bringing Cyrus down to his knees. Now Gus and Italo creeping up, as well as Noda. They're gonna be rushing in to put the pain in Pain Gaming. WAG already sending one of their members out, leaving both Krillin. Oh, Krillin gets knocked, and Cyrus to hold the fort down.
Yeah, Motiveo was able to take down Krillin. WAG might be in trouble right now unless a recovery or a revive has been done already. For elimination being put in by Pain, and there goes WAG being taken out of this battle after so many engagement, and it's just Pain who will bring them down. E1 Sports though, despite of them being taken out early in the fight against Team Falcons, Bum managed to recover or revive 3 of the players. Now they are against WA.
Unfortunately, Death did get the first initial shot, and Mama did not have the right weaponry to deal with him compared to the Bison, which has been a pretty effective early game weapon that gets brought down even to the late games and still proves to be a pretty effective weapon at close quarters. While on the other side, we'll be bringing back action very quickly here. Dutz was able to get the shot. Now I'm curious, where is RRQ? Where did they land that shot from?
And one thing though, I mean, the only, I guess the question is, where are the WA players dropping? Because it seems like it's different teams who's taking them out one at a time. It just so happens that they'll be brought back on the revive, but it seems that they're very scattered. So we'll have to see that later on once the map has been pulled out. But E1 Sports still alive and kicking now against Pain, the aggressor of this engagement. Pain Gaming can bring in a lot of eliminations, so I don't think E1 wants to mess with them.
Yeah, I see 3 members of E1 as we follow Gwyn MVP down to the structure. There they are. Okay, so 2 members of Pain are actually on the 2nd floor of this current compound, getting held back by one of the E1 players that's inside the zone. Now the Riptide Rhythm right at the window to keep it open. Ooh! Oh! Takes him out. It was just that easy. Just swept them underneath the rug.
Yeah, I mean, with that M79, he will be taken out. The distraction gameplay really worked, but Bum will be taken out because of the blue. No recovery for them, but can easily be brought back. Same goes for Pain Gaming, as 2 players will be revived. Formulation is working for them, but Guz, as well as the rest, will need to get a better position. Outside of blue is not working for them, especially very far down south, as the shift will be up north, so they will need to travel a long way before they get into the next circle. But going back to the topic of WA Esports, this is how spread they are. Thus, a lot of teams or different teams are taking them out one at a time.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, you know, we're expecting a couple of teams on the outside, as expected, doing the exact same thing. E1, Pain, Falcons. But then there's BRU by Snowfall. This is, again, a regional playstyle that they like to do, consistently going to Snowfall, holding their positions, clearing their backs, and then slowly pulling in. It's great that the ring pulled to their side, but also keep in mind where Twisted Minds are. At the intersection point of where the hill starts to begin, on that incline, they have a little bit of a townhouse to actually sit upon, a little town that they can play for, lots of play areas, and a great spot to gatekeep southern teams.
Yeah, good point. If Boreum United has been staying in Snowfall, has been saving up on the resources, there is a better chance, a greater chance that they can grab the Booyah. Because if it's favoring their favorite spot in this Alpine map, then they might as well secure that. But A lot of teams has shown so much potential, but Hua is not one of those teams, especially with how spread out they are. I think they're still struggling to get resources, and Attack All Around is chasing them out. But the rest, though, of Hua has regrouped on Carousel, and it's just Death being the distraction to pull Attack All Around away from the rest.
And it looks like Death will eventually have to get on, have to fall here. Poon God about to turn the corner. Death not looking in his direction. A quick and easy shot for Poon God and put him out of his misery. But at least the rest of Hua is still alive to eventually bring him back. Now, we are seeing that a lot of teams want to maintain their position. We're not seeing as much aggression from the Southeast Asian teams in comparison to the Latam teams. And I think it goes, it's good and bad for two reasons. Good in a sense that teams are expected, certain teams are expected to be the aggressors. The bad news is that this could cost a lot of rotational pains, right? E1 wants to get in here. Reda is about to collide with them as well. They're just following that UAV down. Twisted Minds and even Falcons was able to find a way into the ring as it pulls further north. What?
Again, the theory of Snowfall being being Brim United's area is still on play, but the rest of the teams will need to deal with the others. Reda, the team who has a good chance of chasing against Hua Esports, who tried their best to catch up to the top 12 after potentially pushing down Evos, Divine, as well as CLG. We had no view of the overall standings, but that is what has potentially happened overall. But we'll have to find out after this game. E1 Sports bomb spotted from afar. Reda is on the chase, and Lopez XL with the rest of the gang will jump in.
Oh, and now they have to play inside or outside. E1 has to make choices. The top roof has already been compromised. E1 trying to turn the corner to blow away the glue walls as quickly as possible. Even for Chips, he's trying his best, but it's not looking good. Reda quickly turning the corner pretty fast here. Trying to get one elimination from the side of E1 is good enough, and E1, they're trying to back out of this. They realize they might have bit a little more than they could chew with Lopez on and off angle. Vintina XP needs to take him out, but the rest of Reda has regrouped just in time. That's going to be 2 down for E1 as Reda playing a very good 2-2 split here. Vitten9 is probably the only one left in the blue to try and slow down the aggression. Quickly covers his left flank, but still hits the floor.
Chris, the guy that still wears the Charge Buster after it has been taken out of the competitive scene. Well, in terms of meta, of course, but Guin is still in a fight, recovering the rest of the teammates with that revival platform. Take note, it is the revival platform that has been used, but he needs to move in so that he can still survive. This is a third going to the fourth phase of the circle, and this would hurt, but I love the fighting spirit that E1 is showing right now. Unfortunate for them, they're in crosshairs as at the moment they step out of that flight and into the fray.
Yeah, now looking towards the northern side, it looks like 6 Karma has a... Oh, that's an interesting position. So the next ring has already been revealed. Previously that they were holding the eastern town center, but it looks like E1 as well as Attack All Around got involved pretty heavily. That's going to be Reda getting eliminated there, leaving us with only 9 squads left. Get High does find a kill onto On Fire, and looks like even Pain taking major damage as Hua is the one being the aggressors after having to regroup so many times. They finally have their feet.
Yeah, let's see if Hua will be able to win this battle against Pain Gaming. Monovea was able to take down Shin, but a respawn will be coming from Twisted Mind from afar. Hua Esports rushing in, but they might be meeting up with Twisted Mind as they go. But as getaway will not work for Noda. Will there be a Horizon line? Yes, there is, but Maal says no. Denied of survival.
Stole the points away as Vitten9 has just been looking at these rocks. Pretty great rocks here as somebody needs to just shoot at him. Just shoot at Attack All Around. Let this man casually look at his rocks for free.
I mean, Vitten9 just hanging back. I don't think Attack All Around will or has heard or seen any sign of one player on the other side of this map. But E1 Sports though, I mean, I love the fighting spirit, I love the recovery gameplay. Attack All Around despite of them not seeing him, they're still on their toes trying to look for opportunities. And there goes Shin going down. And Falcons will be eliminated as well into the mix. E1 might grab so much more off the placement compared to the other teams, despite of how poor they get or they revive into this battle. But as we continue on, we still have 6 teams in the battle. RRQ is not that close to the next phase of the circle, and E1 V10-9 is still alive. Hopefully a tackle round doesn't go into that side, doesn't look into that side of the rock.
Dude, that's so funny. Wait, that's actually hilarious. No, does Limit Portal go and nobody spots him? Does nobody look back for half a second? Okay, Limit is gonna leg it. No, he's not legging it. Make a choice, because the rest of the team is already in. He turns the corner. He misses him! He doesn't see him! He gets the walk away for free! Now, he's gonna slowly creep on in! Oh, he ends up getting shot anyways, finally! Getting spotted out. Attack all around. Now taking a great position on this rock. Looking towards Hua. It's between attack all around, RRQ, Twisted Minds, and as well as Hua as BRU got eliminated from that western front.
Oh, this is a Southeast Asian battle. Twisted Mind and container gameplay, and RRQ putting a lot of pressure, and 7 elimination that RRQ has brought in might be added a little bit more, but Twisted Mind is not letting this go, and it is why Esports feeling all of those engagement coming from attack all around. They will be eliminated in 4. Now, it's a 4v4v4 situation, and Twisted Mind will be left outside, and there goes a Bane Razor and RRQ. That surprise hit in the perfect timing takes them out, and Twisted Mind and attack all around on a 4v4 Southeast Asian battle.
Oh, Nameless keeping his team nice and healthy, but eventually they need to walk out here. If they can loot across the wall, that'd be great, but Boom God's not going to let them. His Jump God is holding the top side, sees Xboxy, walks out, jumps on top of him, looking to turn this around. Xboxy still alive somehow, but Limit and Floki find one, and Seeming as well as Exposy. Headshots coming through from Limit as Diamond takes Floki back from his team. Nameless, the next to fall against Boom God with the help of that Trogon here, but in the chaos, it is still a 3v1 and attack all around. Secure the final Booyah of day 6.
The final Booyah in their 4th Booyah on the knockout stage. Attack all around, did attack all around, but that was an interesting last map, last game for everyone. Like the survivability of E1, the funny moment of E1 as well. Attack all around missing that opportunity of taking it out from that rock. And even the other teams who has also made it quite an interesting battle. But there you have it. That is the last game for the knockout stage, and we still don't know how it ended up in terms of the overall standings.
Yeah, I'm not sure too. I'm not sure who made it into that top 12. We know the top teams, but the bottom teams who creep their way in, it's anybody's game. But with that being said, we are going to have an interview with Attack all around. Hosts, take it away.
Finalizando o dia de hoje com um Booyah tailandês, dessa vez diferente, nas mãos agora da AAA. Vamos conversar agora com o Limit, que foi o jogador ali, né, que ficou ali no indie game. Gente, o dia de hoje tá maluquice. Please, Yusuf.
Thank you, Carol. So Limit, today is our last day in the knockout stage already, and from the previous point board, I think that I made a calculation, and I think that AAA is enough points to go to the finals. So do you feel relieved? Do you plan to go anywhere, or you just want to stay at home and rest?
ก็ดูจากตารางคะแนนแล้วตอนนี้ยังไง AA ก็น่าจะเข้ารอบอยู่แล้วคิดว่าหลังจากเนี้ยคือมีแพลนยังไงต่อว่าเตรียมแข่งหรือว่าจะพัก
ก็ซ้อมต่อครับเพราะว่ายังไม่แบบเหมือนยังไม่รอบคอบ 100% ครับก็อยากทำให้มันกลายเป็น 100% ให้ได้ครับ
It's like we will still rest and practice more because we don't think our game is well performed enough. We still have some mistake that we need to fix it.
Good answer. A pergunta dele foi, olha, já fiz alguns cálculos por aqui, parece que vocês conseguiram se classificar para a próxima fase, para a fase de pontos, então gostaria de saber agora quais são os planos, vocês vão voltar, vão descansar, vão sair para algum lugar? E na verdade a resposta dele foi muito boa, ele falou assim, a gente vai sim de fato dar uma descansada, mas vai continuar treinando bastante, porque a gente conseguiu identificar alguns erros e a gente precisa ainda melhorar. Okay, throughout the competition, throughout the knockout stage, we haven't seen AAA and Team Falcons getting into a lot of fights, so I would like to know to the next phase, the point rush stage, if they plan to study Team Falcons game or if they want to come for Team Falcons to get them last points for the grand finals.
เขาบอกว่าเขาไม่ค่อยเห็นทีมเรากับทีม Falcon สู้กันเลยแบบในรอบ knockout stage แล้วเขาจะได้เห็นไหมในรอบแบบ point ลัดจะมีแผนที่แบบจะมาเจอกันแบบมาแย่งคะแนนกันไหม
น่าจะต้องเจอครับเพราะว่าถ้าเกิดอยากเป็นแชมป์ก็ต้องเจอทุกทีมอยู่แล้วครับ
Probably we might face them in the finals because if you want to be a champion, you have to face all the team.
Oh, ok. Eu perguntei pra ele em relação a Team Falcons, porque quem assistiu aí direitinho todas as partidas viu que a AAA e a Team Falcons, eles se encontravam bastante durante as partidas e eu perguntei se eles têm algum plano de estudar um pouco melhor o jogo da Team Falcons e quem sabe tirar alguns pontos deles aí pra eles não irem pra final, né, com muitos pontos. E ele falou assim, bom, se você quer chegar nas finais, você tem que se encontrar contra os melhores. Então, ele tá de olhos bem abertos aí na Team Falcons realmente e sabe que eles vão se encontrar na final e aí, meus amigos, é briga de leões. Mas enquanto isso, vamos para os nossos melhores momentos para acompanhar essa última partida aqui da nossa fase classificatória que a gente finaliza o dia e já tem o MVP do dia. Please, Yusu.
Thank you everyone for this interview, and this will be our last interview in the knockout stage. But don't forget, we still have one more MVP interview after this, so wait, stay tuned and wait for us, okay? And now let's head back to our caster and see the highlights. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that interview. And well, I guess there's just a little bit of waiting. Apart from the MVP, we are waiting on the result of the knockout stage. If I'm not mistaken, last time we saw the overall standing, there's still a few teams that might be in trouble. And after 3 matches, and we don't have any view of how it is in overall standing, a lot of pressure, a lot of assumption will be put in there that might be answered in a few moments.
I agree. I think right now, even if we don't get the overall standings, just give us a taste, and we just need to know the total points that these teams have achieved, because I think this is, I want to say that it is a bloodier match, but I don't know for sure. It just felt like it. But in these couple of moments, I think, Twisted Minds, they're so good at clutching it, man. Like, this was a pretty awful position to be in. You're cramped into this little canister. There's nothing that you can do. There's a team right outside, and then they just say, you know what? If they're not gonna nade us out, they're out of resources. We just have to wait until it's the top 3, and when we hear the shots being fired at them, we rip open with double Riptide, using both charges of Riptide Rhythm, and then start fragging out.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good play by Tackle Around. And Limit X7, our MVP for that last match. 5 elimination, we know how it is. On a Sniper, AWM, and even bears the Iris. This is quite unconventional, especially in this type of a meta. But this is one of the teams that has a triple Tatsuya. I know you'll want to see this. This is like somewhat an OG setup, apart from the Iris though.
No, this is well, it depends on how far back you want to pull it, to be honest. But yeah, this setup is not exactly too common, especially with the Iris. Usually you would probably have somebody either playing a more supportive role, or if that's the case, most teams would actually lean into the Skylar to double down on teams who play hyper defensively and have a lot of glue walls to work with. I think that Attack All Around, it's really interesting, and it kind of explains why that they don't really want to get into too many engagements, right? They cannot take consecutive engagements one after the other. More so, they have a very high potential of knocking out the very first team that they encounter, wait for their cooldowns to come off, and then do it, rinse and repeat, do it again.
Yeah, I mean, definitely there's a lot of thought that has been put into that. But as we're looking at elimination leader, it is Limit X7 followed by Tackle Around and Poongod. So pretty much top 3 in that map. Elimination is coming from Attack All Around, the rest from the other teams. But what I'm wondering is who will be our day MVP, because we don't have a clear-cut view, but judging from, say, the Booyah, it might be, there you have it, Wasana. I mean, well, no surprise. They did have a lot of Booyahs, a good chance for them for MVP. So let's
o
bring it
MVP
over
Kaspersky
to
do
host.
último dia do Knockout Stage por aqui é ele, nada mais nada menos do que o Asana, um jogador exime que tem se destacado muito aí na sua posição de rush, e eu vou entregar agora para ele o troféuzinho dele, que é o segundo, tá bom? Congratulations, this is your second trophy. Okay, so this is the second trophy for Wasana. He is the only player to get a true MVP Kaspersky here in the knockout stage, and I would like to know about his feelings. Today is the last day of the knockout stage. Does he feel like he has done everything that he needed?
เนื่องจากตอนนี้เราเป็นคนเดียวที่เราได้2ถ้วยแล้วจาก Kaspersky ตอนนี้เรารู้สึกเหมือนว่าแบบว่าเราทำทุกอย่างที่เราอยากทำครบแล้วเราได้ทุกอย่างที่เราอยากได้หมดแล้ว
ยังมันแค่รอบเก็บคะแนนครับก็ต้องรอดูรอบชิงก่อนรอบชิงก็อยากได้แชมป์ครับแค่นั้นเอง
It's just knockout stage, so actually like done for all, but we still need to get the trophy for the final. So cannot say like it's already done.
Ok, perfeito. Perguntei pra ele, falei pra ele, esse é seu segundo troféu por aqui. Quero saber se seus sentimentos a respeito disso e principalmente se ele sente que se ele já fez tudo que ele precisava aqui na competição. E na verdade a resposta dele foi muito boa. Ele falou assim que ele tá muito feliz pelo troféu dele de MVP, pelo segundo troféu, mas o foco dele tá no troféu da grande final, que é o que ele precisa aqui. Então ele sente que ainda não fez tudo o que precisava.
So, congratulations for your second MVP trophy. Please, I would like to ask you, like, just split the trophy and give it to Moshi in a half, okay? He said. Okay, so again, congratulations for Bermuda United Esports, our king today. Yes, Sunday the king play. Not a very surprise though. And thank you so much for Kaspersky for sponsoring us this beautiful trophy. And now this is the end of our interview. Let's head back to our caster and see the highlights. Goodbye.
Hey.
Just another day in the office for BRU. I'm telling you, something's a little different about him. Something's a little different. When you have player portraits with their glasses on, you know that they're here to win it all.
Oh yeah, I mean Jonah and Get High, but Wasana really tops it off. But looking back into how they played, they are the team of the day. Definitely no questions asked. Number of Booyahs check, number of MVPs check, and it's not only that. Even all throughout the knockout stage, I mean, Get High got the first one, Wasana got the second one, Jonah got the third one, Wasana grabbed the fourth one. Sorry, Moshi, but it's a good point that Yunsil did point out. Split it and give it to Moshi. At least he'll have a little bit of feel of being an MVP. But our books, in terms of being a sniper, Moshi is our MVP. Well, other than MT7. But sorry, Moshi again. I mean, that's a huge
big yikes
on Moshi.
Hey, to be fair, Moshi was nominated as a mobile gamer of the year. Okay, he was nominated for it, so I guess that's where most of his luck went. But here is the overall standings here. BRU currently in number 1, Twisted Minds in number 2, Falcons in number 3, Fluxo in number 4, Attack All Around in 5th place.
All right, so this is just 5 out of the 12 that we're looking at.
Oh, come on.
And the first 2 that will be eliminated, well, Wask as well as 6 Karma, despite of them grabbing the Booyah, didn't get enough in terms of getting all those points to catch up. And here comes the rest to complete the first half. And E1 Sport managed to climb up to number 9. And the rest of the teams, well, it looks like similar to how it started today.
If E1 is 9th and BTR is 8th, wait, hold on. Now I'm curious. Okay, they show 10th and another eliminated team. It's gonna be Pain at 10th. It's gonna be Rita at 15th. Unfortunately, 175 was just not enough to cut it, which means that the threshold is closer to 200, if not 220, I would hope.
Okay, RRQ managed to get in and CLG eliminated. Now it's up to 2 more teams. And the way I'm looking at it, it's 2 teams coming from Southeast Asia. So it's still a 1 loss in terms of C, but it's in terms of region, whether it is Indonesia or Vietnam, Hawaii Sports managed to get into top 12. Unfortunately, Evo's Divine got kicked out.
Oh my goodness, what a huge day for Hua. They hit their better part of their average and they managed to make it into top 12. Good job. Well done to Hua. These early game fights have secured them that spot, and everything else that came after that are just bonus points.
And I feel the relief that Hua Esports is feeling right now because of Hua Esports has been targeted by Reda. Though Reda is far behind in terms of the catch-up game, but they are slowly being stopped in any approach. They don't want Hua Esports to move forward, but some parts survivability comes in. They manage to grab a few more elimination, and slowly, surely they managed to cross that threshold, that top 12, and they head in to our point rush, as well as the grand finals, as well as the rest of the team, especially our RQ has been hanging in there for the longest time outside the top 12.
Yeah, no, I'm legitimately concerned for them because, again, keep in mind that point rush, whatever you play during that point rush is to accumulate points to advance further in that final stage. You're just going to have a couple of points ahead of everybody else, which is a huge advantage. So it's all about looking for booyahs. It's all about getting as many points as possible to get that advantage first.
Yeah, and they have 2 days to do so, and we'll have to find out. Will it be a different team on top of all the team rankings by each day of the point rush, or will it be different that would make it even more difficult if everyone's quite balanced from day 1, and then it switch around from day 2 just back to 0, only a few points in between them?
Hey man, we've been through a couple of FFWSs already. We've seen teams, kind of do well throughout the entire tournament just to get it stolen away at the very end. So it's all about that final day. No matter how well you do with consistency, a hotter team can steal it.
Yeah, definitely. And well, speaking of steal, we're going to steal. We have stolen a lot of time from you guys, but it is worth it. Overall, we have seen who get into the top 12, and we are going to see them in next week's point rush. Again, we thank everyone who stood by up until this moment. I am Neptune, the Gentleman Garcia. Together with me is the one and only Gideon Q. We're going to say goodbye and good night to everyone. Hope to see you point rush and grand finals.
Beijo e até lá. Fui!